GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
On race day, when you want to show everyone out there who's the best,
Here we go, Frederick Aasbo.
you really need to be focused. I tell myself, I got this, I'm the best there is.
The star is Frederick Aasbo.
Looking for what comes next? For that moment when everything finally...
1 minute!
Whichever path you choose, it starts here.
Formula Drift is brought to you by Air Force, aim high. Type S, the official lighting sponsor of Formula Drift. Lights, camera, power, fun. GT Radial, experience the performance. Welcome out to Road Atlanta. This is round 2 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. Here we go. Yo, let's go. Now he's looking strong up front. Boom, oh boy. Guess what? Old Captain Clutch Kick is back. How awesome is this? Banging doors, getting aggressive. Wow, Christoph making his presence felt. Big initiation there for Frederick Aasbo. That was proper execution. Whoa, are you kidding me? Look at that.
Aasbo starts to walk him.
James Dean opened the window of opportunity here for Frederick Aasbo. James Dean gets the win. That was awesome. Wow, what a day. Absolutely, probably the best weather we've ever seen at Road Atlanta. This is Type S Road to the Championship presented by AutoZone. I'm Jared Deenda, super excited to have all y'all here, either online or in the Natural Coliseum, where the red signature clay meets the pavement, meets the grass, meets the keyhole, meets the horseshoe, and you're about to meet our top 16 drivers here in round 2 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. But first, if you could please stand for the young men and women right there, down on the track in front of you, have made a commitment to serve in our United States Air Force. To honor their commitment, please remain standing while Lieutenant Colonel Chris Lusu from the 336 Recruiting Squadron of Moody Air Force Base administers the Oath of Enlistment. Down to you, Lieutenant Colonel.
Hey, good evening, Drift Atlanta fans. It's great to be here. It's my pleasure to have 7 future airmen of the United States Air Force do an enlistment ceremony in front of you. These young men and women have answered their nation's call to service, whether it's serving in special warfare, electronics, mechanics, or even administration. They all are stepping up to serve on your behalf and to answer the nation's call. So I ask that everybody respectfully acknowledge these young men and women as we complete this step ceremony. Thank you. All right, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your full name. Do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me according to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. Round of applause, please.
Thank you so much, Lieutenant Colonel and the young men and women. Now representing the colors, Robbins Air Force Base Honor Guard, and singing the national anthem, Dusty Strickland.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you to Dusty Strickland, the Robbins Air Force Base Honor Guard, and the young men and women dedicating themselves to the United States Air Force. Atlanta, make some noise! Are you ready to meet your top 16 drivers here at round 2 of the Formula Drip Pro Championship? Here we go with our first driver parked, the OG. He's been around since 2004. We've seen this gentleman grow up right before our eyes. He is piloting that 2JZ Gretty Motti's Kenda Tire Toyota GR86. Looking cool as a cucumber. The OG, Ken Gushi. Coming down next, representing Toyota as well. He's in a Toyota GR86 LTH Kenda Tires. Coming to us from the Dominican Republic. Make some noise for Jonathan Castro. Next up, representing the PNW. Yeah, he's got a Toyota motor under the hood of his Purple People Eater, Royal Purple GT Radial BMW. That's right, make some noise for the Dozer, Dylan Hughes. Up next, this young buck coming to us from Las Vegas, a 702. He's high flying with the United States Air Force. Let him know you're here. High flying, Brandon Sorensen. You can feel the heat wave rolling over this Borla exhaust, Lean Customs GT Radial, Corvette, the beast from the Bay, 777. It is Matt Field. Next up, this gentleman, originally from the Pacific Northwest, Southern California, now residing in Florida. Regardless where he lives, he's always radical in the rad industry. Sun X Tools, Mark IV, GT Radial, Toyota Supra. It is Rad Dan Burkett. Originally from Japan, he's bouncing around the planet. Make some noise. ISR up garage. G86, it is Kazuya Taguchi. Another OG since 2004, when it began in 2004. Again, he's been banging away for 21 years, three-time champion. He's had some success here in Atlanta. Can he do it again? In his Nismo Auto Parts NOS energy drink, all new Z on GT Radial tires. It is Chris the Force Forsberg. Up next in that yellow speed racing, the 808 Tour tires. Let's get nuts and make some noise for the one, the only, Forrest Wang. Up next, he's your current points leader, winner, James Taylor Dean. He's seen fire, he's seen rain, and he currently leads the championship after one round. He takes out the boss man, and here he is in the top 16. Ben Hobson holding it high. He's too tall to hold him down. Here we go. Three-time Formula Drift champion, AutoZone, Optima, Penzo, NGK, Mustang, RTR, Spec 5, FD. Put some respect on it. James the Machine Dean.
Get it down.
Up next, his car is not here. Might be a little battered, a little bruised here on the left-hand side. He's going to pilot eventually the Garagistic Pedal Commander Tour BMW. Make some noise for RCP Rome Charpentier. Let's see if we got some fun dances. What do we got in our back pocket? That Evo Auto Works, Southern California, V8 Nissan 370Z, NRG Innovations. Make some noise. It is the one, the only, Jeff Jones.
No one knows. Oh, I didn't know you went side.
No one knows.
Okay, it's over. I didn't know you went side to side.
Coming all the way from Becker, Minnesota. He's in that Kenda Tires, Holly Magnuson supercharged Koenig wheels on the corners. Make some noise for number 35. It is Alec Robbins. Next up, third currently in the championship, gunning for it this year. Is this year? We will see in that fuel suspension GT Radial Pedal Commander S15. It is Odi Bakchis. Rounding out this field suspension, Ineos Oil GT Radial team coming to us from Norway, currently second in points. He got second in Long Beach. Can he do it here again? Make some noise for Norway's own Simon Olsen. Keep that Norwegian flag high for another three-time champion. He pilots that Rockstar energy drink, Toyota GR Supra on Nitto tires. It is Frederick, the Norwegian Hammer Aasbo. There are your top 16 pilots, 15 vehicles. Rome's gonna join us out here. I'm Jared Deenda. Jacob Getton's gonna be next to me. Be sure to check out the Outer Zone podcast to find out all the deep dirt on all the drivers and behind the scenes. We are ready to send it here for round 2 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. Lorette Nichols gonna be down on the ground. She's gonna be finding out all the dirt, all the heat on the street. We got a packed house here at the one, the only Road Atlanta. This is the Type S Road to the Championship presented by AutoZone. When we come back, an interview with the United States Air Force's own. When we come back, don't go anywhere. We're about to send it here at Road Atlanta.
Looking for what comes next? For that moment when everything finally...
1 minute!
Whichever path you choose, it starts here.
Max Gear is a high-performance synthetic gear oil designed to provide maximum protection to heavily loaded gears. Slippery synthetic molecules and center-look additive package not only reduce wear, they virtually eliminate both gear and bearing wear. We run 1,000 horsepower through our transmission and differential all season long and never have a problem. Eliminate a variable. Drift with Royal Purple Max Gear. Pour purple, Royal Purple. You can find Max Gear at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
モータースポーツで得た高度な技術をすべてのレイズホイール一本に込める魂は永遠に変わらない。ビヨンド・ザ・レボリューション。ザ・コンセプト・イズ・レーシング。
There's no better way to test your tires than on the racetrack. That's why at Kenda Tires, we compete with the same tires we sell. And that's how the technology built into every Vesda UHP Max tire goes from podium to pavement. Whether you're a professional driver chasing podiums or a grassroots enthusiast looking for weekend excitement, Kenda Tires are designed for your journey.
NGK, the leader in high-ignitability spark plugs, is proud to announce the launch of its Mod Performance Ignition Coils. Designed and built for performance, Mod Coils feature custom primary and secondary windings to increase output and performance. Mod Coils provide maximum levels of dielectric strength, voltage insulation, and durability. Level up like the pros. Choose Mod Performance Ignition Coils from NGK, the official coil sponsor of the Formula Drift Prospect class.
All right, well, joining me up here in the booth, Master Sergeant Witten is up here as we get our VIPs off course. But speaking of VIPs, Master Sergeant Witten, how long you been in the Air Force, man?
This is my 17th year in the Air Force.
When did you start? When you were 10? You're baby face.
Yeah, I wish.
No, you are. What do you think of Formula Drift?
Oh, it's awesome.
First time?
This is my first time actually at an event, but I've seen several on television or...
Yeah, live stream and stuff. It's pretty wild, right? Are you a car guy?
I am.
Okay, you better be. You better be.
I am.
All right, well, again, all that time, you're now in recruiting.
Yes,
how long you been recruiting?
I've been in recruiting for 6 years, going on 7. Yeah.
Okay, and what are some of the unique, actually, I got to ask you your personal story. Why did you join the United States Air Force?
I had no direction. I didn't have a clue of what I was doing. I just knew I didn't want to go to school.
Okay.
So I went in, slipped in, talked to a recruiter. And it was probably one of the best decisions I ever made. It changed my life to no end.
Good.
So much so that my son just stepped in.
Oh, he's down there?
Yes, sir.
Did you cry a little bit?
I'm getting a little choked
That's
up.
good, man. Well, rightfully so, man. I think that's, my son's getting to announce. So here, again, like father, like son, congratulations to you, man. That's awesome. And obviously you want to take care of him. So what steered maybe your son to get in the Air Force?
To be honest with you, I don't know.
That's fair.
I haven't pushed any of them to join the military.
Yeah.
I want them to make their own decisions. But he has said it since he was probably 10 years old that he was going to follow in the footsteps and make that commitment, and he did it today. So.
That's cool, man. That's an amazing experience. Sorry, I'm kind of welling up thinking about that, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What are some unique, you being recruiting, what are some of the unique jobs? Because everything's Air Force or Space Force, right? It's not just about airplanes. What are some of the unique jobs that maybe some of your peers or maybe you place people in? Because it's not just about planes.
Yeah, so obviously the Air Force, the big thing is about the airplanes, right? But we have all of the support that goes along with it. Everything comes from medical, finance, firefighters, cops. We have aircraft maintenance, obviously.
Kinesiology. My buddy was in the Air Force. He's a kinesiology.
Kinesiology.
Yeah.
Ophthalmology.
Yep.
Nurses, doctor. I mean, everything.
Yeah.
Services, chefs.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. I appreciate all the insight here. And if somebody wanted to, again, maybe direction or maybe like your son, I'm going to ask you this question right here. Aim High Trivia, powered by the United States Air Force. Do you know the answer to this? Which U.S. Air Force aircraft has the widest wingspan? A, B-52, B, CV-22, C, E-3, or finally D, F-16?
B-52.
Tin Roof. Rusted. All right. Well, there you have it. Well, congratulations. You get to maintain your role in the United States Air Force. How can one look into either locally or obviously across the country look into joining the United States Air Force?
Obviously, the easiest way, airforce.com, airforcereserve.com, airnationalguard.com, and or reach out to your local recruiters. You have the Aim High apps that you can log in and actually send your stuff to a recruiter virtually. Yeah. And then they'll reach out to you.
Well, congratulations to you and your son. Thank you for your service.
I appreciate it.
And thank you, United States Air Force, for protecting what I think is the best country in the world. Again, shout out to my grandpa, RIP, flew in World War II, P-47 Thunderbolt. But thank you to all those that served in any branch of the military.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Master Sergeant Wynn.
Absolutely.
You ready to go send it?
Thank you.
All right, you get to go drive.
Okay.
No, you don't.
Oh,
no, you
come
don't.
on.
No, you don't.
Come on.
All right. Well, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it. All right, so we're going to bring in Jacob Gettens here in just a moment as look at this backdrop here. Again, what a beautiful sunset here. The lights are going to come on. And again, we'll be right back. Setting the stage here. The lights are coming on. The sun is setting, but the Type S lights will come up. We are ready to send it. If you haven't watched the Send It series, we did one round of Long Beach. It gets a little crazy, man. We went to Pike Bar, we had the parade, and we filmed an episode here in Atlanta. Got to go to just tune in. The second round of the Send It episode here in Atlanta is amazing. Got to go to Killer Mike's. We do some weird things, Type S Nightlights. You're going to want to tune in. Watch every episode of Send It. I guarantee you're going to like it. And just do it for me, okay? Just go and click, like, watch, do that thing. Send it.
How important is Long Beach to Formula Drift?
Loved it.
We're gonna party down with Turk tonight.
Let's send it! Look at this. It's a sold-out crowd. Welcome to the streets of Long Beach. Make some noise, Formula Drift Nation. We are ready to get at it like a track addict. And here we go. Let's send it! It's official. We've begun Formula Drift Round 1, 2024 season. A slow roll into it. Gets all the way out there, taps the wall. Oh, throws back. Mohan loses it. Look at the swing from Shanahan at the gate. Brewski right there. Shanahan on, blazing a trail right now. Wow, man. What a run. The crowd erupts here in Long Beach. Robbins, gets way loose. Has some trouble there chasing down Taguchi. Look at that, Mr. Cool applying the pressure. Brandon Sorensen, United States Air Force, really deep in that third outside zone. And look at Odie Bakchis. Wow. Jonathan Hurst spins out. James Dean, if he continues on, will have a major advantage. Oh, no! Doing a banging door, banging by Whoa! Here we go, Christopher Forsberg, all new Z, tip the tail on initiation. Trying to apply that pressure. And look at how close the proximity. Rome using all that outside zone 3. Trying to go in that first outside zone. James Dean hanging it out quite a bit. James Dean and Simon Olsen crawling their way across that finish line. And your winner here, James the Machine Dean! Oh man, look at that, the red, white, and blue. We are around the world, baby, that's right. We are international. Jared Deanda up here joining me is the boy in blue, the beanie boy, Jacob Gettens, the host of Outer Zone podcast. Jacob joining me up here the entirety of the pro season. Ryan Sage, he's kind of the master, the grand wizard behind the curtain. But Jacob, just being here, you can feel it. It's electric. Like you said, we left last night. They were lined up last night to make sure they had spots today.
Yeah, people camping out. I mean, I didn't think we could fit more people in the stands. Somehow we're just wedging them in there, left, right. If you got an open spot, someone's sitting next to you. Don't worry about it. Make friends with your neighbors because they're going to be there all night.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's packed. I love it.
It's amazing. And again, the sun is setting. Speaking of last night, TLO, Tommy Lemaire, he took a little hiatus in 2023, got his act together, obviously, because here he goes. He puts on one heck of a show. Alex Jaeger, he knew, he's like, I gotta throw down against Tommy Lemaire. TLO put it all together. What an amazing showing. And then, for good measure, he puts a backflip on it.
Oh, I know. And I mean, if you're a fan of Canadian drifting, you've been waiting for this to happen. Tommy Lemaire out of Quebec, dude shreds. He crushes.
Yeah.
Incredible. And now to see him come over here, took that year off, got everything sorted. He showed last night how incredible he is.
Did he get those outer zones?
The outer zones.
Okay,
yeah.
Canadian.
I know. As soon as I speak of a Canadian, I start speaking more Canadian.
I know, right? Yeah. Out and about in the houseboat, mate.
Hey,
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate that about you.
About you?
Yeah. Yeah, TLO, again, what a cool celebration. He did it even off the podium as well. I like that. That was cool. Gotta love Tommy Lemaire. Really humble dude as well.
Yeah.
And that's what Pro Spec, it started, you know, little treacherous, and then it just got refined, and then boom, maple syrup.
Yeah, we're seeing Pro Spec
Canada
like we've never seen before. I mean, this is the series we've all envisioned, right? You put them all on equal tire, put them all on equal ECU, see what happens. This is what you get. Some incredible tandems, incredible stories, and it's made for an incredible event.
Yep, yeah, and you know, got really wet Thursday. Going into that, and then yesterday we had ideal conditions. That's what we're going to see. Not a cloud in the sky right now.
Yeah,
beautiful breeze right now. Looking at our pro schedule, we're at stop 2 of 8. Next stop, just a couple weeks, man. We're going to be in Orlando. We're just talking about that. It's hot.
Yep.
Different conditions, different track feel. Then we go to E-Town, St. Louis, Missouri. Talk about hot. Boom. Utah, or excuse me, right there before that, Seattle, Utah. And then look at this. You know, talking about our points leader, 3, 2, 1. We're talking about Odie, Olsen, and then James Dean. They are all in the top 16.
Yeah, they're in the mix. They've got some pretty crazy battles coming up. It's not going to be an easy run. There are no easy runs from top 32. Get into top 16, it becomes very difficult. There is nothing that is guaranteed at this point.
Yeah, no, the plot thickens. Excited about what Olsen's doing. You know, it got a little treacherous there. Olsen, you know, got the hit of literal. He's going against Castro, which, you know, that mindset, they have fairly similar mindsets and kind of coolness, but Olsen, the more comfortable he is with that car, he's dangerous.
Yeah, and the more comfortable the lead driver is, the more dangerous Jonathan Castro is. We've seen it. He is one of the best chase drivers we have here. I mean, I still talk about it to this day. His chase run against James Dean in Orlando a couple years ago, like, I got goosebumps. Look at full goosebumps thinking about it.
Come on, bro.
Best runs ever.
Dude, why are you going to steal my thunder? That was absolutely, that's my favorite. That's my number one run.
Yeah.
Number one run. Where were you watching that at?
I was there.
You were there?
Yeah, I was at that event.
Dude. That was crazy. Unreal. I know, like, Ryan, like Sage was like, that's still our favorite run to this day. Sorry.
It's the best demonstration of drifting.
Speaking of emotions, James Dean, that was such an emotional roller coaster. Tuesday, media day, Long Beach of that week, catches on fire, the brand new car. The car is still scorched like a marshmallow. And then again, you know, and then he wins the event in the wet. James Taylor Dean, like I said. Speaking of going through some ups and downs, RCP, Lorette's with them now. How's the arm? How's the car, Lorette?
Well, exactly that, Jared. I wanted to check in, and how is the arm and how is the car?
So arm's doing a lot better. I got the feeling back in my left arm, so I lost feeling all the way up to basically my shoulder. So when the back of the car hit, I tried to hold the wheel so I could still go up the hill, and then when we made contact with the front, it ripped it out of my hand. My arm went down basically to the top of the cage, in between the cage and the corner of the seat, and it hit kind of underneath the funny bone, like that tendon, and my whole left arm went numb. So they asked me, hey, can you give me 2 thumbs up? I was like, I got 1, and the left arm was just kind of hanging down. They're like, nope, we're taking you. So that's why they took us out. Yep.
Okay, and then what's the status with the car?
Status with the car is rear subframe was smashed so bad that it actually broke. So the guys welded the subframe back on. 2 of the tabs got torn off the top. They welded that back on, and 4 arms got bent in the rear. Front arm got bent, and front tie rod got bent.
And this is your new car?
This is my brand new car. Rocker panels kicked in about 4 inches. I mean, it's beat up pretty bad.
So you're on the right side of the brackets.
Yes.
Do you have enough time to get everything in working order?
Yep, they're trying to clean up everything right now. They just finished aligning it, so we're going to try and take it for a drive to see how straight it was. It was 10.5 mils toe out in the rear, and it was pretty bad before, but I think they straightened it out. So we'll hope for the best.
Okay. We're crossing our fingers for you. Thanks, Rome.
Thank you, Lorette. And yeah, you know, Diego came in pretty hot, and that hit right there. I mean, you just see how far he goes into that. And I know Diego was kind of like, you know, did he flop? I mean, how far he went into the kitty litter.
Yeah.
Diego's obviously on one right now, but look how far Diego even goes into the kitty litter as well.
Well, we talk about Rome's alignment. I mean, when you take that hit, now the car is very unpredictable. As soon as that wheel starts going off in a different direction, you can see it. It grips up and just hucks him into the kitty litter. Makes him about halfway across. I mean, it's quite the line drive.
All right, we got some big rule changes here. Reduction of automatic incompletes.
Yeah.
Judges look at severity of each mistake, and one more times for excellent runs only. Expand on that.
Yeah, basically the only way you're going to incomplete now is if you drive straight for 2 seconds or just stop drifting altogether. Judges looking at severity of each mistake. We're cutting down on incompletes because there were situations where somebody had a phenomenal run but then go 2 wheels off, and then the person behind them who maybe didn't have a great run is now moving on, and we get these weird battles of people who got through on a technicality. Now what we get is the best of the best.
Yep.
And speaking of, one more time for excellent runs only, the general rule of thumb is if it's above an 85, then one more time can come in, because we want to see one more times because they're good battles, not one more times because there's a bunch of mistakes.
Risking it for the biscuit. That's what these kids do. Formula Drift Atlanta. Heck yeah. Thank you, kids. Thank you for coming out here. How we doing? You guys all right? Chilling in the grass? Big Scream fan right here. This guy, red pants, red pants Crocs. My dude loves Scream. And then my other dude, he's just shy. The red-haired kid.
Yeah.
All right, hey, happy Mother's Day to my wife and to all the moms out there. Happy, obviously, Mother's Day to my grandma, obviously my mom, you know, all the moms out there. Happy Mother's Day. A round of applause for all the moms out there. All the moms, that's what's up. Got a lot of ladies here in the Formula Drift paddock as well, even up here in the tower. So, again, happy
moms
Mother's
everywhere.
Day.
Yeah, if it weren't for moms, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah, absolutely. And all right, so again, speaking of moms, you know, take care of those kids. We got the kids ABC book. I don't know if you have seen this yet, but start them young. C is for good boy. D is for drifting. Get it? ABC is for future drifters. Formula Drift Edition, brought to you by the Fast Kids Club. Eat, Sleep, Race. The ESR boys. Love this.
Yeah.
You know,
great.
I need this.
Yeah, I gave one to my nephew.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, heck yeah. So I need this. You know, I need to utilize it. Right there. That young man, not the drift wizard, I feel like he could read, but the young man there in the gray shirt.
Yeah.
Get him an ABC for kids. How we doing out there? Put your hands up. Well, not you with the sling. Put your one hand up.
Yeah,
My man's got the broken wing. Sorry, brother. Sorry, brother. All right, well, again, we are just moments away from kicking things off. We're going live around the world on live stream as well as MAV TV. Don't go into round 2 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. Welcome out to Road Atlanta. This is round 2 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. Set it! Here we go. Yo, let's go. Now he's looking strong up front. Boom! Oh boy! Guess what? Old Captain Clutch Kick is back. How awesome is this? Banging doors, getting aggressive. Wow. Christoph making his presence felt. Big initiation there for Frederick Aasbo. That was proper execution. Whoa, are you kidding me? Look at that.
Aasbo starts to walk him.
James Dean, open the window of opportunity here for Frederick Aasbo. James Dean gets the win. That was awesome. The sun is setting here at Road Atlanta. This is Type S Road to the Championship presented by AutoZone. The electricity, yeah, we need to plug some things in, including the Type S lights. The sun sets, the lights come on under the car, around the track, and on the track. We're talking about our top 16. We started with 30-plus drivers, whittled it down, now 32. Now 16. Who's going to win at this iconic track? What began in 2004. You see that little horseshoe area there? All that pavement? That was paved in 2004, just for us. We had 4 rounds, now we have 8 rounds. This is round 2 of 8. It starts in Long Beach, ends in Irwindale, and everything in between. It is a drift sandwich. It's smoke-filled, not jelly-filled. Field. I'm Jared Deanna. Joining me once again, Jacob Gettens, joining me the entirety of this season. He hosts the Outer Zone podcast. They are risking it for the biscuit, not the drivers, the fans as well. They're having fun. This is where that signature red clay meets the asphalt, the kitty litter, the grass, and the enthusiasm of Formula Drift. So super excited to have y'all here. Thank you so much. We have our judges. They are ready, poised. We had an amazing round one. I'm Jared Deanna. Jacob Gettens here, the boy in the beanie blue right here, the Canadian one. So thank you so much for joining us, Jacob. Starting Thursday, here we are. We saw an amazing pro spec round. Little wet, but perfect weather. The cars are ready, but what are you expecting?
I'm expecting absolute mayhem. This track, it shows everything. This has high speed, low speed, big tandem, big contact, big drama. We're already into it, and it's only going to get better from here.
Round of 32, it went down. James Dean, the big boy, the machine, 6, 7, 8. I mean, he's a tall drink of water. He goes against the boss man, Vaughn Gitt Jr., two-time champion. He's only doing 2 rounds. He eventually lost to James Dean, who is on a roll. He's a 3-time champion. He wants to get another one. Who do we have here?
Now we've got Adam Alzey and Matt Field, a battle surrounded in controversy, talking about, who did what happened here, how much contact. Adam Alzey getting on social media, talking about it there. We've got interviews, we've got everything, but at the end of the day, Matt Field is moving on, and Matt Field's moving on. That's it.
And he's a championship contender. Like you said, controversy. Simon Olsen, Ryan Littoral, almost identical contact, but a little more aggressive. You can see that. Ryan Littoral impedes in the transition of Simon Olsen. They go in. Boom, Simon Olsen shuts it down. Eventually, Simon fixes his car after 15 minutes? Yeah, so quite a considerable amount of damage. This was a crazy one. Ryan Turk, Alec Robbins. Turk, whoop, exit sideways.
Yeah, very uncharacteristic of Ryan Turk. You can see here he talks about it with his interview with Lorette, where he's not even sure what's going on. Doesn't know how it happened.
Power steering.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
He's got big arms, but they're not big enough for that.
Odi Bakchis, Dimitri Brutsky, talking about Odi Bakchis, who got 3rd in Long Beach. He is always a bridesmaid, never a bride. He wants to get married to that championship trophy, put down a run, and then in the second run, Dimitri Brutsky absolutely sends it into the kitty litter. Odi Bakchis moves on.
Now we get into Rome Charpentier, and you can see that contact splits the wheel off to the side, shoots him off in the kitty litter, bangs his elbow off something. Not sure if they can get the car back together. They use their timeouts to get it just mangled back in, just enough so he can get through the loop and moves on to their top 16.
This is where we're at, the 16. So James Dean versus Hughes, Field versus Jones, Gushi and Wang, Aasbo Taguchi, Olsen versus Castro, Robbins versus Burkett, Bakchis versus Sorensen, and then finally we're going to see RCP versus Chris the Force Forsberg. That is how and where we are and how we got here exactly. So you can see how much rubber has been laid down. The conditions are gonna change when the sun drops, the temperature drops. It's gonna get stickier. We saw that last night with Pro Spec.
Yeah, track temperature comes down. We're gonna see these cars going faster and faster and faster, and the driver's gonna have to adapt.
Here we go. 1 car leads, 1 car chases. James Dean, the higher qualifying driver, because he is our current points leader. James the Machine Dean will lead. Dylan the Dozer Hughes in the chase position. James Dean, that Ford Mustang, coming to that first front clip. Whoa! Lifting that front tire once again. You can see how loose that suspension is. Dylan the Dozer Hughes, he's gonna try to chase him down. But James Dean, masterclass, puts it right there in that second outside zone. That's the inside clip. That's the second inside clip. Out here, that is the course indicator. Now coming back down the hill, the first inside clip is the last inside clip. So James Dean, with him knocking over, him or Dylan, again, you just have to go off your muscle memory right there. There we go. We are 1/2 of the battle in, top 16 here in Atlanta.
Yeah, 3-time champion James Dean showing us how it's done very early. You can see that just touching that clip, knocking it out of the way as they start to come up the hill in the first outside zone. Needs to fill all that. Little bit of a left foot brake, getting into the second outside zone, filling all of that, as you can see by the lines on the ground. Hits that touch and go. Dylan Hughes following in behind, wanting to mirror the angle, get as close as he can, keep that proximity. We're off to an amazing start.
Yeah, I think that's a great, good, clean way there. I think Dylan Hughes, to be quite honest, he's going to need to rise to the occasion. He knows who he's going against. He gave him a lot of respect with Lorette Nickel. His interview says, James Dean, never heard of him. Joking, he did. He says he knows how well he can drive. He respects him, but gosh darn it, you love him, but you want to beat him.
Yeah, James Dean, I mean, he's arguably one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest of all time. But Dylan Hughes, a fast up-and-coming star. He has knocked some giants out of the water.
Absolutely.
That might happen here.
Yep. All right, Dylan the Dozer Hughes will lead that royal purple O'Reilly Auto Parts GT Radial BMW. James Dean tip to tail with that AutoZone Mustang RTR Spec 5 FD. Whoa, James gets forceful with Dylan Hughes, but Dylan Hughes takes a licking and keeps on ticking. Going that first outside zone, that rumble strip. Going to the second. Oh, he puts that back tire in. Now again, deduction, not an incomplete. Dipped that one back left tire. James Dean, he does have good proximity, good transition. Dylan Hughes, very fluid. Wraps it around that last inside clip. Let's elaborate on one more time. Not saying this is, not saying this is a one more time, but just saying when we see it one more time, it's based off of we'd rather see a good run, a reward. We want to see him again as opposed to not a good one.
Yeah, there were a couple of small mistakes that were made here, but not a ton. James Dean getting very aggressive and see locking up all four. Just a little bump. Nothing too crazy, nothing like we saw with Rome where he shot him off into the gravel. Dylan Hughes doing a phenomenal job there through the first outside zone, but pushes him just a touch wide through the second, makes him leave that zone early. Good job through the inner clip. Now, James Dean pushing and hunting to try and get as much proximity as he can to transition through this last section. That cone just wavering in the wind, just scared, just a little shaken.
Yeah, shaking in its boots.
Yeah, taking a look here again. Dylan Hughes out front. There's the little contact, very slight contact. Dylan Hughes powers through it, keeps going. And you can see as they come up the hill here, James Dean again mirroring almost perfectly the same line and angle that Dylan Hughes has got, but not the same proximity, not as close. So you need to have all three. You're trying to balance making sure that you look exactly like the driver in front of you while also being as close to the driver in front of you.
And interestingly enough, James Dean is running a right-hand drive Ford Mustang. Here's our K&N keys to victory. Quick and dynamic initiations on the throttle before inside clip 1. That's when they come down the hill. Use the angle to set up for outside zone 2. That's going into the horseshoe. And don't cut the line exiting the keyhole or the horseshoe. So when you go past that second inside clip, that's right in the keyhole, you'll see a green cone. Now that's just a course indicator. That is not a clip. You want to see a good fluid line. Don't beeline it and get into the grass. But it's not going to hurt you, but it could hurt you even more, depending on how deep you go into the grass.
Yeah, I mean, there's room here for mistakes. We have rumble strips that go on multiple sides of the track here, and you can utilize them, but it's not a great idea. It has a tendency to tear the tire right off the wheel, so you have to be very careful.
Here we go, Jacob. Slide it left for James, slide it right for Dylan Hughes. James gets 1 vote, 2 votes. James, the Machine Dean, gets the win unanimously. James Dean gets it done. Dylan Hughes knocked out. He knew he was going against. I have to assume just the tidiness and also the chase of James Dean. Talking to the judges, Brian, Robbie, Reese, just tidiness, was it? Reese, Robbie, just the tidiness of James on that chase. What was the big standout moments for you? Yeah, throw your headset on. Why not? As we get prepped for Matt Field and Jeff Jones, get some insight from the judges. Talking to Reese Marin, what's up?
In the chase lead when Dylan was leading, we noticed that he went off in outer zone 2 tires, or he just went off course. It let James Dean off. James did hit the inner clip in the lead as well, but ultimately when we compare the two and you compare the proximity that James had leading, chasing Dylan, we just went ahead and gave it to James Dean.
Yeah. All right. So our judges here, we got Reese Marin joining us in the Formula Drift judging panel. Then we got Robin Ishida, he's in the middle now, but Brian Eggert there on the other side. So Brian Eggert, Robin Ishida, Reese Marin are 3 judges. Hey, bud, what's going on? There you go. Let's get ready. We got Jeff Jones, Matt Field. This should be one heck of a battle. 2 very aggressive drivers. Jeff, actually, I feel like he's simmered down. Like he's got a cool simmer right now. So, but Matt Field, he's got something to prove. He wants to say that, hey, I don't care what happened earlier. I'm going to throw it down for my town. Talking about the Bay Area, the Beast of the Bay. That first inside clip takes out that inside clip. That Borla exhaust, heat wave, lead customs, a little bit of shimmy there into that first outside zone. Going to the second. Matt, he feels all of that coming now into that second inside clip, coming down the hill, and you can see the elevation change there when they come back down the hill into what is the last clip. There goes Jeff Jones. You can see quite a departure there from Field and Jeff Jones.
Yeah, Matt Field's looking really gripped up. Now, this could be a part of, kind of some strategy or just part of the track cooling down, but take a look at this initiation. Really gets that inside clip well. Now we see the proximity as Jeff Jones starts to power up that hill to the first outside zone. Matt Field just dipping off into that red dirt. And right here is where it starts to fall apart for Jeff Jones. See the proximity change. See Matt Field start to take a very wide line and cut to an in line. Now as they come across, Matt Field could have been wider in that last section getting out to the rumble strips. Doesn't necessarily have to, but not a bad run there. Jeff got to clean it up a little.
All right, that's right. We're not 32 anymore. We're in 16, baby. As we are finding out that Matt Field, the Beast in the Bay, and that Borla exhaust Corvette has called a competition timeout, which a competition timeout, that's a 5-minute allotment to work on your car. What's the issue? Hopefully, maybe Lorette will find out. He is deep back there quite a bit. So we will find out what goes on with Matt Field. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. This is Type S Road to the Championship. We're 1.5 battles in.
Wow.
Top 16. All right. Presented by AutoZone. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here at Road Atlanta.
Drifting, everything's a mental game.
Perfect.
If you're not focused, you're off your game.
Ryan Kirk is back at it. He wants it.
Performance racing, battle tested in Formula Drift for the last 4 years. XPR contains Centerlook additive technology, ultimate Z DDP wear protection, and superior high temp performance. Pour purple, royal purple, the synthetic expert.
Drifting is not just a sport, it's culture, it's in our blood.
It's a fine line that you have to walk. You have to be able to adapt on the fly and be able to drive on your instinct.
Tires are what we live and breathe in Formula D. We couldn't do this without them.
Well, here we are. We are back at Road Atlanta, 1.5 battles in. Interesting turn of events here. Matt Field calls a competition timeout. We are also hearing from Jeff Jones' camp that he debeaded a tire. And the rules, as far as debeading, is if you debead and there's no contact, you are not allowed to put tires back on the car.
Yeah.
So interesting turn of events. You know, we'll see how this gets deduced, but knee-jerk reaction, there was no contact.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the rumble strips. I mean, it's like a saw, so not entirely sure when it happened. It might have been right there for Jeff Jones. Kind of looks like it. When he came across the rumble strips right in the beginning, that might have been when that tire debeaded. So it's tough. I mean, there is so much strain on these vehicles, but at the end of the day, if the tire, if you debead in the first run and there's no contact, the rules are the rules.
Yep. Ken Gushi, Forrest Wang. We'll move on to the next battle. We'll go back to that of Jeff Jones and Matt Field, but right now, Ken Gushi and Forrest Wang.
So happy to see the giant wing back on Forrest Wang's car.
Wang gang.
Wang gang.
Wang,
we need
big
more
Wang
giant
thang
wings
gang.
and drifting. Bring back giant wings and drifting.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
Dude,
Oh,
Wills?
great.
Wills with that Big Country Labs,
Country
dog?
Labs, man.
I don't know exactly what wing brand. I know he ran a BCL back in the day, but I'm not for certain which brand this is. But, just from a steez standpoint and style standpoint, it feels sentimental.
It's got to be like, the roof line. That's like,
Right.
seems to be like the perfect level. You know what I mean?
Yep. All right, so let's see Ken Gushi. Oh, boy. Guys, what is cooking right now? Ken Gushi calls a competition timeout.
Alrighty then.
Yeah, so put a CTO right next to Ken Gushi. 2J powered, Gretty, Moddies, free shrugs. Look at Greg Bussell down there crying. Oh man, we got Team Rowdy. They're cheering on their favorite driver. Look at that, all hands on deck for, look at Matt Fields out of the car. Looks a little bit, maybe not frantic, but the clock on the other side there, 5-minute allotment. I know Aaron Tuning is loving this. First Formula Drift event for him and his fiance, and Hannah Ray, I think she's here in the building as well. Got some first-time comers to this event, so excited to show some friends what Formula Drift is all about. But there it is, 2 minutes left for Matt Field and his competition timeout. Don't know exactly what's going on. We got Chow up here. I don't know if he's going to share with me exactly what's going on with Matt Field's car, but you know what, Lorette Nickel, what is going on?
Well, so Matt Field didn't know that the tire debeaded on the other car, so he called a 5 because there's no supercharger belt on the car, so the team is working on replacing that now.
Crazy turn of events there. Crazy turn of events there for Matt Field, and like you said, he didn't know, you know, I mean, regardless, I think it's smart to do that.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you know what? No, if he probably would have known.
Well, then he'd have to run the car basically without the supercharger belt, which
that'd
I'm
been
not
fine.
sure his belt. Well, I'm not sure his belt routing if that also has other things attached to it. So.
And Ken Gushi is stuck at the line. He needs to get towed off. What is going on? Pets' heads are falling off.
It's crazy.
Cats and dogs living together. Wow. So Gushi.
Here's the thing. I was talking to somebody about this earlier, and they're talking about cars breaking. And at the end of the day, these drivers and these teams are setting these cars up to run at levels that they're not supposed to. And if you're not running them this hard, you're not winning.
Right.
And that's the hard part is you have to run that raggedy line of having a car that can make it through the run but also be competitive. Look at things like Top Fuel drag racing.
Right.
They're rebuilding that engine after what
every other run. Yeah, every pass, and those are 10,000 horsepower.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's tough. You have so many components. It's hot. They run these cars hard. This is one of the most difficult sport or automotive sports on a drivetrain.
Absolutely.
It's the hardest parts of drag racing. You've got launching. You've got clutch kicking. I mean, talk about a great way to destroy a drivetrain just by slamming your foot into the clutch over and over again. They get hot. They get bumped around. They go through the dirt. It's a mix of rally and everything. It's
look at Gushi. Look at the body language from Gushi inside the car, throwing his hands up. That's. It's slightly embarrassing. You're just like, gosh darn it, what happened?
It's
and again,
tough.
it's really tough. There goes Matt Field past them, and this is the drivers' championship. We're only one round in as far as points finished, right? Obviously, here we are at round 2 of 8. James Dean leads the pack. Simon Olsen, Odie 2 and 3. Ken Gushi is 4th, but look at that. Toyota 4 and 5, and then RCP, who has that battered car on the arm. Novak, he's knocked out. Manoa knocked out. Field currently in. Turk knocked out.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a mix-up. It's a big man. And we only have 8 rounds, so every single battle, every single point you can get is so crucial to making it through the championship. That's why we see drivers, Matt Field, early Bakchis so close to championships. It was one round. It was one battle that lost them an entire,
and that's why I think Von Gittin Jr. flopped. Anyways,
Moving
there's
on.
a buy run for Matt Field. He's got that Park Shop Max going for gold, but again, great looking car. And guess what? He gets the buy run. He will advance on past Jeff Jones with that debeating of his tire. And there we go. Matt Field will advance on into the Great 8.
I got a feeling that supercharger's working just fine now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so the plot thickens already out of the gate. We had a crazy 32-16. Got a slow little drip, but no dripping from the sky. Just talking about the grip on the gears. Here we go. So James Dean advances on. He'll go against Matt Field. That's right. We'll find out what happens when we come back. A short break. Don't go anywhere. We're going to see who's able to run. What's going down in this town. Don't clown around. We'll be right back.
I'm Ryan Turk, and I'm super proud to announce Rain-X's all-new wiper blade design, the Turk and SUV Heavy Duty Series.
Whoa, cut! Ryan, it's the truck and SUV blade. It says it right there.
These new blades are specifically designed for truck and SUV windshields. They're tougher and built for rugged weather. Like I said, the all-new Rain X truck and SUV blade, engineered not to be turked in tough conditions and built for your truck or SUV. Get a pair today, only at AutoZone. I mean, I still like the idea of a Turk and SUV blade.
Turn your passion into a career at the University of Northwestern Ohio. From high performance to automotive, diesel, and everything in between, you'll find a degree that will get you a job.
Students that go through our programs have fantastic experiences and they come out getting good job placements.
70% hands-on, no out-of-state tuition, and accredited degrees in trades that are in high demand all across the country.
10 out of 10. If you even think this is the right place for you, you better just go.
Learn more about your future at unoh.edu.
This season, Toyota Racing is looking for jaw droppers. Iron stomachs that can stand the pressure. And quick draw thumbs that leave their own smoke trail. So hold on tight and strap yourself in. This season, we want you. Join us at Toyota Racing.
Look at that Nitto tire just rip.
Been holding power you make for 30 years. But here's the real question. How much torque are you making? Because every single ACT clutch is rated by the torque produced at the crank. That's all your clutch cares about. Your power, your performance, your success. Unrivaled precision, power, and durability. Visit advancedclutch.com today. 30 years of precision engineering and performance excellence. Because every revolution.
All right, we are back here. Sun is setting, and just a crazy turn of events. We already have, again, that is James Dean, and then Matt Field will be going against James Dean here in the top 16. But now, moving on to our next battle. Woo! Frederick Aasbo, that Rockstar energy drink, Toyota GR Supra. He's on those Nitto tires, but Kazuya Taguchi, he's not going to back down against this three-time champ. Kazuya would love to win here in Atlanta, but Frederick Aasbo, he's had a lot of success here in ATL. Here we go, Frederick Aasbo, a big gap between them. Now going to that first inside clip, Kazuya slides out of it, up the garage, operated by Jerry Yang Racing right here in Georgia, into that second outside zone. Now into that inside clip, look at it, ooh. Man, that's very uncharacteristic of Frederick Aasbo. Oh, big swing from Kazuya, shuts it down. Straightens out a big direction there. That will be a deduction on the side of Kazuya Taguchi. Seems like maybe the conditions changing. We saw this with Pro Spec. Again, temperatures drop, grip, right, in the mechanical grip, and what's going to happen to all your equipment from the tires to the trans and all that.
Yeah, Frederick Aasbo here pulls a big gap on Kazuya right off the bat, and then hucks a ton of angle, and you can see Kazuya not entirely sure how to respond. Frederick Aasbo, known for being almost perfect in these lead runs, and you can see it here. Fills that is a perfect second outside zone and a nearly perfect inside clip. And then as he runs through the rest of it, Kazuya just trying to figure out what to do, trying to make up that ground, while Frederick Aasbo basically puts on a clinic for a lead run here at Road Atlanta.
Yeah, that was, I mean, he just pulled right away
man.
from him. And you know, the start chicane here, for what you guys, for those that are just joining us or have never seen this before, that chicane for the lead car, what the intention there is, so it's not a drag race to that first clip. Yeah. So they whittle through, they thread the needle. The chase car, the car on the right, essentially can leave the line prior or a little bit later, but obviously you want to time it perfectly to go tip to tail and initiate almost identical at the same time. Straight line approach there for Frederick Aasbo, initiates, get to that road trip, and Kazuya Taguchi, you see him initiate, but then he comes out of angle a little bit, but Frederick Aasbo bathing in that smoke. Now coming up the hill, Aasbo taking a shallower line, but he's still got that proximity. Good angle there from Kazuya Taguchi, but Aasbo, he still keeps it close. Oh! Kazuya exits stage right, gets in the grass. And again, it seemed that Kazuya's car is not running healthy. It's not 100%. Got a little bit of a throat tickle, coughs, and then burps and goes off to the right. That was an unfortunate turn of event there for Kazuya Taguchi.
Yeah, I think there's another issue that's going on that manifested itself here at the end. But Kazuya Taguchi throwing a ton of angle in, almost like he shut the car off and started it up again, and then able to get through the rest of it. As we come up the hill here, Aasbo, knowing that Taguchi is having problems, stays back. Through the keyhole here, starts to hunt in. You can see him using his pedals, using some left foot brake, stabbing the throttle a bit, and then once Kazuya shuts it down here, Aasbo he doesn't even need to finish lap at this point. He's just having fun, getting some laps in, getting some reps in. And yeah, Kazuya clearly fighting some sort of problem as we see the Norwegian flag there, and some young fans. You rock, love it, love it. Hey, I believe that is Simon Olsen's family hanging out. So all of Norway cheering on the Norwegians. Fredrik Aasbo taking out Kazuya Taguchi and moving on.
All right, so Fredrik Aasbo gets the win. It advances on. Again, the Norwegian flag is waving for both Fredrik Aasbo and Simon Olsen. You can see Kazuya Taguchi.
I think Jonathan Castro has been there enough. He's like an honorary Norwegian at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. He's been there quite a bit. So Brandon Sorensen,
yeah,
he went up there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the guys. Get an update here from Lorette Nickel. Ken Gushi, car just shut off at the start line. Something popped and disrupted the power of the car. So check the electronics. He made his 5. He also said, told Lorette that quite a bit of big changes. The team has a new engine package, obviously, for here in Atlanta, and even this year, going back to the 2JZ. And up until the 5, the car was running optimal. I guess disrupted. Yeah. So yeah, that's unfortunate. All right, so again, a little bit of a pump fake there as Ken Gushi was on the line, had to get towed back, so he unfortunately had to use his competition timeout. Ken Gushi, Forrest Wang will re-rack him, track him, and stack him here for the first run of Gushi and Wang, but unfortunately Gushi does utilize his competition timeout. All right, getting ready to send cars. Hey, be sure to join us after at the podium ceremony, and yourself, Jacob Kentz, you will be doing the press conference, a little bit interview. Wow, well, he's got a lot of power now. Oh, look at that, power goes off.
Lights out.
The lights out. Gremlins, the ghosts are alive. The ghost in the machine shuts it down for Ken Gushi.
Hand out the window. You can the international sign. I don't know what's going on.
Dude, Gushi just, the OG Ken Gushi cannot catch a break. By the way, there's the finish line.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That Gretty, Motti's GR86.
Bet it's a ground. It's always a ground.
Oh man.
We talked about this before. There's no driver on grid that is happy to win that way. There's no way Forrest Wang's like, oh, good thing. Like, no. All they want to do is battle each other. If they're going to win, there's so much pride. They want to win heads up. They don't want to win like this. And Ken Gushi, I mean, that's brutal.
Look into the cockpit of Fredrik Aasbo, his Toyota teammate, Freddie. Crazy. This is crazy. Well, Lorette, I know you're down there. We're getting a slow drip here. It's like the faucet. We need to turn this thing on. We need a fire hose, baby.
Oh,
Lorette,
man, I don't know.
What's the vibes down there?
Well, Jared, I'll be honest. It is crazy and it is hectic down here. There is a lot going on. There's a lot of 5 minutes that's been called, trying to get all the action, trying to get all the news. Fredrik Aasbo here. Hi. You want to sit in your car? You want to come out? It's all right. How was that for you, Freddie?
It was okay. I mean, it's not really how we're supposed to move on or want to move on. Katsuya had a D-bead, but it was fine. I think honestly, it was one of my best outer zone 2s in my lead of the weekend. So I was pretty stoked on the lead. And Chase wasn't all that great. Fell behind a little bit, but onwards and upwards. We're in the game. We're in top 8 now, so we're going to keep working here.
Okay, with that Chase run, how do you clean that up moving forward?
More aggressive. Got to be more aggressive, Freddie. I know you're getting old, but you got to be more aggressive. So that's the plan.
Wait, the whole entire Chase run, or in certain parts?
Certain parts, you can't go out there guns a-blazing and Hail Mary everything, then you're going to run into everybody. But But I'm in a state now where I really need to like push that a little bit extra, and it does come out at times, and you've seen it, and I know it's there, and I think it's time to bring that out.
Is it because of jet lag? Is it tired? Are you just starting to fire up?
Yeah, it's, you know, I'm sort of a mild guy, right? I'm not the brashest, baldest guy, but I do wake up when the going gets tough. And I know that we were going to have some tough opponents now, and you know, it's building in me, and I can feel it.
We love that for you. For this track, everyone loves Atlanta. I think this is pretty much everyone's favorite one. Where you are coming up that hill, where are you looking?
Looking home, looking back at the boys up here. And you're right, everybody loves this track. And to me, it reminds me of the green lush tracks at home, Gatubil, and this is sort of the style of track I grew up on. And, you know, I'm just trying to take it one corner at a time, so I'm really just looking through the next corner. And once I come back up this hill, Steph has told me to keep it off the limiter, but it's really hard to lift the pedal from the floor.
Okay, and you're going to be seeing Wang next. What do you do to make sure you maintain that aggression?
So Forrest, the style king, and he now has grip to match. And, you know, I think he has a pretty cool initiation, similar to sort of how I would like to do it. That gives me a lot of confidence. I can bomb in behind him. And then, what is it Castro always says? Just take the wheel from there.
Frederick, thank you so much. Jared.
Thank you so much, Lorette. As he talks about Forrest Wang, he gets his bye run, unfortunately, with the comp timeout being called by Ken Gushi, and then you saw it just boosh, just shut down on him, and just Control-Alt-Delete, could not reset it, and unfortunately, you know, replugging that router back in, it didn't work. So Forrest Wang will get the win. He advances on. The Vitor tires go round, and look at that camber up front. Look at just the stance on that. You can see just that poke and it's poked out there, baby. So next up, we're already to the other side of the top 16. We're talking about the Royal Purple top 16. Unfortunate turn of events for Ken Gushi. Man. So Simon Olsen, Jonathan Castro. He talked about Jesus taking the wheel. Jonathan Castro, Simon Olsen. Currently second in points. He got second in Long Beach in the wet conditions, and those Norwegians know how to drive in all conditions. And I love that I talked about Rudskogen and Gatbil. What an amazing track. I've been out there, dude. Have you been out to Gatbil?
Yeah, I've been to Gatbil 2 years ago. Phenomenal.
Dude, bonkers.
I want to go back. I got to go back.
Simon.
Let's go back.
Yeah, let's go. Simon Ulm. Is it Elm? Yeah, rode in that all-wheel drive Audi drift car.
Yeah.
Holy
yeah,
cow.
They got a few all-wheel drive cars out there. It's nuts. Lots of diesel drift cars.
Crazy. All right, here we go. Norway versus Dominican Republic. Simon Olsen will lead in that field suspension right, and high vis yellow S2. Jonathan Castro in the GR86. He explodes that front clip. Now into that first outside zone, hits that rumble strip into the second outside zone, top of the horseshoe. Simon Olsen digs a little bit deeper, goes past that inside clip. Simon avoids hitting it. Castro does tap it over, not too aggressively, and now bring it around that final inside clip. Pretty straightforward. You know, could you make some corrections there? Of course, seemed like Castro was maybe scrambling a little bit, but Simon was pretty tidy.
Yeah, Castro is playing a very predictive game in the chase there, and I'll get into that in a second and show you what I mean. But Simon Olsen out front, great job through that first inside clip, pushing out nice and wide, filling that first outside zone, and right in here, you start to see where Castro's, phenomenal ability to chase. Cuts the line, mirrors the angle really well, and look at how tight that transition is. You couldn't fit a piece of paper in between them. Starts to predict the transition there from Simon Olsen, who has a phenomenal lead in the chase. I mean, in the lead. And really, now that Castro is going to be swapping over and into the lead, he's going to have to do the same, but Simon's going to have to do the exact same thing, but with more proximity, and that's going to be the hard part. This is a track you can have a lot of proximity, but you have to be careful because of the number of transitions. Got to pull the car away, let the car in front transition, and then dive back into the pocket.
And timing. Timing is everything. And you've seen these veterans, like watch Forsberg. He's somebody that has so much track experience here. And it's just being comfortable with your car. And as you said earlier, Castro does a good job chasing. It's predictive. I like what you said there. But again, separating the winners from the losers, in this scenario, it's timing. It's driving right into that pocket. Here we go. So now Castro will be up front. Simon Olsen in the chase position. Talking about comfortability, Simon Olsen, him and his car are really just getting in that synchronicity as Castro goes past that inside clip. Big angle there from Simon Olsen in the chase position. Castro, big angle from him now. That first outside zone. Slides it that second, and there it is. Look at that. That proximity there from Olsen. Would like to see a little bit more angle from him, not just that proximity. Now outside of that horseshoe and one more clip. Looks like Olsen, he did get aggressive. You know, is it that X factor? You know, just that like, whoa, like holy cow. Pretty straightforward from both of the guys. But I think there are kind of some deciding factors on one side that I would say, all right, slide him that way.
Yeah, so let's take a look here. Love that initiation from Jonathan Castro. Does a good job through that first inside clip. As we transition up the hill, you can see Simon starting to hunt him down, pulling a little bit of angle out of the car to gain the proximity. And Jonathan Castro definitely struggled through the second outside zone, and that's an area that the judges hold very critical. They want to see you fill that zone out. As we come through here, Castro with a huge left foot brake, tight line through there, and Simon Olsen driving above his gears is something he has struggled with. I mean, he struggled with this a lot before he jumped onto the field suspension camp, was just getting too aggressive and playing himself, basically. But we're seeing, hey, love that hat. We're seeing that he has grown up and now driving, you know, like he's been doing this for 40 years.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, just the comfortability he has here. Olsen and Castro, slide him left for Olsen or right for Jonathan Castro. It looks like Simon Olsen, just that's what I say, just a smidge of just that confidence. Chasing, I would say the chase was the really definitive moment. Olsen, you know, he dropped in, and look at that pretty split decision from our fans down there. J-Rod is OG, but we love him. Okay, whatever. All right, I'll fight you.
He's got a hat on.
Obviously, I didn't go give him a hat.
I know.
Yeah, I'll go give him a shirt or something, and then obviously maybe he'll be a fan of mine. It's fine. I don't care. It's fine. It's fine. No, he doesn't. No, it's fine. He said I'm an OG.
Yeah, you are. No gangster.
All right, Alec Robbins, Dan Burkett. Alec Robbins talking about blower belts here. Dan Burkett, been really smooth. Excited to see what he's going to do. Robbins, he needs to keep that blower belt on that blower and see if he can maintain as the smoke absolutely filling this bowl. Robbins will lead that Holly powered Koenig wheels. Dan Burkett, obviously in that Mark IV Toyota Supra, always looking good.
Yeah, no blower for Rad Dan. Besides, like the blowout he gets on his mullet, that thing is just gorgeous.
I think he has a Beyonce fan that just keeps it blowing.
I think so. You know, it's funny. I don't think I've ever seen his hair not in motion.
Right.
Yeah, he's just standing still and this wind comes out of nowhere.
Yep.
He's got an assistant that just holds a fan up.
All right, so here we go. Robbins will lead. Dan Burkett giving chase. You can see the red lights. Once they extinguish, that's when the lead car can't leave the line. If they leave early, it's a strike. 3 strikes, you're out. If you hit a cone, you're out. So here we go. Alec Robbins initiates. Dan Burkett, is he giving him too much room, too much respect? We'll see. Coming to that first outside zone, up the hill, now into that horseshoe. Ooh, Alec Robbins comes a little bit short there, allowing Dan Burkett to kind of cut the line, massage his car. Good proximity in that smoke. That's where you can easily get lost.
Oh, speaking of.
Wow, Robbins came up short. It seems like he kind of clipped that inside clip, that last one.
Yeah, I'm very, very concerned about that blower belt. So I was looking and listening for signs of that. But out front, good job through that inside clip there. Rad Dan doing a great job. Look at mirroring that angle perfectly. Robbins didn't have a ton of angle through there, and neither did Rad Dan. That's what their judges are looking to see. Robbins out further from that cone. We want to see him at that first hash mark. And it was kind of through here. I wasn't sure. There were some signs that right there, just not having the power to push the car out wide, makes me a little bit concerned that maybe Robbins lost another belt late in that run.
Yep.
We'll have to see. I can't remember if he still has his 5 minute, but if he doesn't, he's gonna have to run at NA with like 500 horsepower maybe. So, which you know what, Robbins can do it. He could.
But in the chase position,
yeah, that's gonna
be difficult. If he was in the lead position and with minimal horsepower, that throws a wrench in the system. But
and we don't acknowledge it enough. Like, leading first has some amazing benefits, but also has a ton of drawbacks.
Yeah.
So it's not always the best play. Like, you don't get to choose it, really, but you know.
There's our judges. Shout out to Brian Eggert, Robin Ishida. Happy Mother's Day. Robbie saying that to his lovely wife, and Reese Marin. Brian, I know you want to say Happy Mother's Day to your wife as well. All right. Get that BC Racing clipping point set back up. Thank you to our hardworking Formula Drift staff and crew. Look at that dirt. Right? So where that inside clip is, you know, imagine driving just your factory car, you know, your OE car, maybe you have a hooked up car, but slam it, wheels, low profile tires, and then put it in that hole.
Yeah.
That's going to cause damage. And I'll tell you, when you go counter course and you hit what's the first inside clip and makes it the third, going back against that razor's edge, it could cut you.
Yeah, rumble strips are not meant to be driven on. And yeah, you're doing 90 miles an hour through there. You do not want to dip a wheel on that first initiation. So swap it around, Rad Dan out front, see how it goes.
There we go, Rad Dan Burkett. Alec Robbins in that chase position. Rad Dan Burkett, straight line approach. Looks like Alec Robbins has got that power. Yeah, he's still got, oh, we got it. Look like you're just throwing sparks as he deep beat on that front right. That was crazy. Whoa, Robbins. He's applying all the pressure right now. He's got nothing to lose. That kid signs it. Oh, buddy. Did he deep beat on the front right or just throw sparks for the heck of it?
Something is big angry under Alec Robbins right now.
Wow. That was absolutely wild. The sparks from that front right corner. He went back in time, dude, 88 miles per hour.
Yeah, let's take a look. He might have dipped a tire in there like we talked about. We might have predicted that. I think he did. I think he dipped a tire into that little well we've got. Oh, no, right there. I wonder how the arm came off. Wow, all right, getting to the actual run, though. Rad Dan doing a good job through first outside zone and second outside zone, but Alec Robbins right there like a nightmare through the whole thing. Shooting sparks, breathing fire. Love to see it. You can see him shallowing up there. Rad Dan doing a good job out front, but Alec obviously taking some damage in battle and, yeah, struggling to get through. But, I mean, huge props. Like, that's what you need to do. You take a hit, you keep driving, you just keep pushing and see what happens.
Yep. All right, so look at that. Judges analyzing what went down.
Judges use their hands all the time. They talk with their hands more than their mouths. It's crazy. So,
yeah, we're looking at that BC Racing side by side. Here we are just analyzing every inch of this track.
Yeah, so a lot of proximity from Alec Robbins there in that first section. Second section, you can see where the damage is done there, but Rad Dan now having more proximity. The judges are probably looking at the leads where Rad Dan was much deeper through that zone, but then shallower through that inside clip as we transition back out. Alex taking even more damage. Rad Dan pretty wide through that section. Now, you don't have to be tucked in there, but if you start to go so wide, it becomes almost impossible to chase that. So that could be something they're looking at. Usually when we look at the side-by-sides, they're really, really looking at leads. So that's my guess here. You can see the discerning faces of the judges there.
Oh, no yawning.
No.
There's no yawning. No yawning allowed.
There's a coffee truck in the back.
Go get some coffee.
Go get some.
Go get a Rockstar energy drink. Get some energy. Guarana, B vitamins, all the supplements.
The new one's got lion's mane in it. It was it was delicious too.
All right, Alec Robbins, Dan Burkett, slide him left for Robbins or right for Dan Burkett. Rad Dan gets the victory. As we advance on, Dan Burkett gets the win. And there it is, the Y's are hugging over here, Robbins and Burkett. So we are 3/4 of the way through our Royal Purple Top 16. This is Type S Road to the Championship presented by AutoZone. We'll be right back.
Is this it?
This is it! Passionate about a life in racing? Circle track, drag racing, drifting, or monster jam. Find it all at the University of Northwestern Ohio.
The passion here is very different than I've seen in any other school. You guys set them up very, very well to succeed and to win in a big-time way.
The fact there's a school you can go to for racing is just a little bit insane, but it's very cool because it gives kids like me the opportunity to chase that dream.
See where your future can take you with a high-performance motorsports degree from the University of Northwestern Ohio.
If you think the only thing that really matters
is how fast you can go, we want you.
Join us at Toyota Racing.
The next step was to get this thing on a proper ECU, especially with all the technology that Link has to offer.
Which should give us full communication and full control over all the sensors.
But so far, being able to log in and review every lap has been a huge plus.
To have Link pull through and step up for us and just help us out to be able to all pull it together.
That's all we need. Simple, cheap, easy, works, good ECU, weatherproof.
It's got enough IOs too, like we're doing tons of stuff. Oil, fuel pressure.
Look at that, all that rubber being laid down. That could play a major role as we roll into the Grade 8. Right now we're in that royal purple top 16. 2 more battles left to define, but Dean, Field, Wang, Aasbo, Olsen, and Burkett are already in. You can see our bottom right of the brackets of the royal purple top 16. Royal purple, the synthetic experts, the official engine oil of Formula Direct. Bakchis, Brandon Sorensen. What do you expect here from Odie and Sorensen, Jacob?
I mean, Brandon's been sitting kind of cold. I mean, he had his bye run there, which would have been against Dean Carney, who's, I mean, first event he's missed in a very long time, but he's been sitting cold. Bakchis, I mean, he's predictably awesome.
Yep.
You know he's going to drive well. You know you can run him real hard. Sorensen, though, I mean, that camp, what they are able to build and what they're able to tune would not surprise me if they've got, some special sauce going on to make sure that they can battle Bakchis at the top of their game.
Yeah, and Brandon's been driving a lot, lives out in Vegas. He's been drifting a lot. His sister Amanda, she's all over the place, extreme E, karting, off-road, doing a bunch of things. But, Brandon's been really fixated on drifting there. Let's see a little spark fly up there as Bakchis past that inside clip, now ripping up the hill. Bakchis into that first outside zone. But look at this. We're seeing a great battle here from Bakchis. Bakchis, look at Brandon's composure. Looked like he was going to go into him as Odie maybe checked up, but Brandon Sorensen dialed. Oh, buddy. Talk about that composure, that contact.
All right.
That was interesting. Also, here's the judges. Take a look. Also, Odie's accelerometer, the lights were all on white, so you're not going to see the accel or decel that we're seeing like on Brandon's car.
Let's take a look here. So you can see Bakchis kind of a straight line approach when it comes to that inside clip. Punches that really quick through here, but Brandon Sorensen not letting him get away. And then through that first outside zone, things look really good. And then right here, Bakchis uncharacteristically just kind of checks the car up, hucks a little bit harder, and then as we come through this last section, Brandon Sorensen doing an incredible job. And then we come through the last part, you can see Brandon making contact and pushing Odie wide and looping him around. So it's going to be some discussions about who's at fault for various things. Odie does have a big checkup through the second outside zone, but Brandon kind of gets on the brakes and sees it right there. Oh man, that could have been real nasty. But it's right here as we come through. You can see Brandon diving in and Odie not able to see if he checks up or slows down. We talk about these lights on the side. You can see on Brandon Sorensen's accelerometer lights. Essentially, they can tell you if he's speeding up, slowing down, or maintaining. And having a bit of a malfunction on Odie's lights, so not able to tell quite as well.
Yeah, and Brandon may be aggressive, but Odie, again, you pointed out in that horseshoe, maybe had another hiccup scenario, but also, seemed like the contact right before the finish line. The finish line, they need to drift through for one.
Yeah.
Two, anything that happens after, you still need to drift all the way through, but you can see the yellow cones lying down. That is the actual finish line. So while we clean up the track here, we will throw it down to Lorette Nickel, who's with Forrest Wang, the big Wang gang.
Well, I'll go find out what happened with Odie after this interview. Forrest, I know you were really looking forward to a rematch with Ken after Long Beach. Unfortunately, not to happen.
Yeah, Ken had to call 5. He had his car just shut off on the line. They took it back to the pit, ended up getting it running again, and then we basically launched. He does first, second gear, and then when he hits third gear, the car just shuts off again, and we coast to a stop, basically giving me a bye run through that top 16 battle. Not the way I wanted to win. I really wanted to get one with Ken because we both didn't really do our best at Long Beach. It was like neither one of us did a really good run. And now with the new rules, they're not one more timing bad runs. So they're like, oh, who did worse? And I guess I did a little worse than Ken because he didn't really feel like he did well either. And he ended up getting the win. So I really wanted to get him a clean battle today. So I know we'll probably see each other again in the future. But top 8, we got Frederick Aasbo, and he's going to be quick. I know that. I just saw him gap Taguchi, and we'll have to give everything we got.
Forrest, thanks so much for your insight.
Hey, our fans lighting up the night. Look at that. Look at it. I normally have to ask the fans to light it up. Everybody pull out your phone, put on the lights, light up the night here.
Yeah.
Woo, Road Atlanta. I know Larry Chen loves it. The Larry Chen photo team. get some awesome photos called the Fireflies. As the sun goes down, the Fireflies light up the night. Type S does as well under the cars. It's gonna get darker, but it's about to get brighter. Thank you to the fans for lighting up the night in more ways than one. I'm Jared Deenda, Jacob Gettins here next to me. Again, be sure to check out the Outer Zone podcast. Join us if you're here in the building. The Podium, it's just behind the announcer's booth. And then obviously join us online for every round of the Formula Drift Pro Championship and Pro Spec Championship within 4 rounds of 8. Our next competitor here is Bakchis and Sorensen. We are hearing that Sorensen is at fault for the contact. So when they went across the finish line, Sorensen too aggressive, and they deemed Brandon Sorensen at fault. So this was intended to be the last battle of our Royal Purple Top 16, but now it is, we're going to revisit the second half of Bakchis and Sorensen. But Rome Charpentier, he's had one heck of a day. Got punted in the kitty litter, and then he's going against Chris Forsberg. And Forsberg his way here. Taylor Hall, he had Forsberg had a bye run. Taylor Hall's was an alternator seized, so unfortunate for him. But here we go. Let's see what kind of battle we got here. Rome Charpentier, Christopher Forsberg. Rome Charpentier RCP in that garageistic BMW. Forsberg in that smoke of the Vitor tires, pulling away from Christopher Forsberg. That VR powered all new Nismo Auto Parts NOS energy drink, all new Z. Now oh, look at that. Oh, just knocking off that bumper. And there we go. As far as Rome Charpentier keeps on keeping on. Looks like the car's back up and running. Great lead run by RCP, pulling away the veteran three-time champ. I'm seeing some sparks off that front left. What is going on with the sparks, dude? Is everybody welding the cars on the go?
I'm wondering if that was brakes. That's kind of what it looked like. Yeah, like he would have been on the brakes coming up that hill, so they were sparking off. But let's take a look here. RCP doing a phenomenal job out in the lead and just putting on the rocket boosters here as he takes off. Not many people gap Chris Forsberg, but he just did. And you can see another left foot brake there as we come through that second outside zone. Rome dialing it in. Could have been a little bit deeper through that inside clip, and that little kiss there from Chris Forsberg as they're able to power through the rest of the run. Rome pushing real wide, staying on the limiter. Well, Chris Forsberg surprisingly getting caught a little bit behind there on Rome as we swap over.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off there. You can see the clock there to the left, 7:30. Now, keep in mind, Sorensen was at fault, so Odi Bakchis is allotted a 10-minute complimentary timeout because the contact was caused by Sorensen, so this is not cut into what he's allotted, one competition timeout. So that, again, does not utilize his competition timeout. Here we go, back to the action. Forsberg and RCP. Forsberg leading. Nismo Auto Parts, Nismo Parts, NOS energy drink, all new Z on those GT radial tires. Initiates. Rome Charpentier looks like comes out of angle just a little bit. Forsberg transitions back up the hill into that first outside zone. Now coming to the horseshoe, RCP right there. Forsberg hammering down in that VR. Forsberg, you can hear him rap, but he shuts it down.
There it is.
I was gonna say the car did not sound 100%. You can hear and it just seemed like it was sputtering. And then contact to the back end of that all new Z. Rome Charpentier, man, that car, woo! He is I mean, out of respect, just stopped. I mean, the whole back end, I mean, looks like taillights, back bumper. I mean.
Okay. All right. We need to, so a couple things we got to see. We obviously got to go to the replay, understand, assess faults, see when things shut down, when contact was made. But let's take a look here. Chris Forsberg coming down the line, big e-brake pull, gets on the throttle really early and starts to push it wide. As we transition up, Rome getting caught a little bit behind, having to go take a bunch of angle out of the car. As we come through here, you can hear things popping off. And then through this section.
Oh, you know what? I don't know. Maybe it was a scenario. Sorry to cut you off. It almost like it impeded on the transition.
Yeah, similar to what we saw with Simon Olsen as well.
Yeah.
Back things up a little.
And literal.
Yeah, so the question becomes, was Chris already slowing down when the contact was made, or did he slow down because the contact was made? So this is where some of the accelerometer, decel lights can come into play.
Okay, all right. I think that angle's a little more telling. I did hear, again, rev limiter popping and locking, but you saw Rome make a correction. I think that angle, if we play that again, that's really gonna, I think that's more telling of what transpired there. You saw Rome make a correction going into that second inside clip in the horseshoe. Chris goes to transition. He might have been on the wrong side. I'm talking about RCP, Rome, that BMW right there on the wrong side, transitions and hits him. So it might have been a perfect storm, you know, again, keeping that car control. So this is where it comes down to hypercritical, who is at fault here.
Yeah, I think we very much need to take a look at the replay, specifically of that section of transition. There is going to be some inherent slowing as you're transitioning through there. You should be getting back on throttle through transition and push that car out a bit wider. We're going to take a look here at the drone shot again while judges analyze to see if they can assess fault here, not just for this, but also for a timeout. So this is the part we want to look at right here. Oh, Rome does dive in. It does look like Rome gets back on throttle before Chris does. Now the question becomes, should Chris have already been on the throttle at that point in time? There are a lot of ways we can look at this.
Excel, decel area, that is not a decel area, but you have a natural kind of swing going into that inside clip. Taking a look at the map, you know, you see the red going, fading in, so basically like, and then you kind of power out outer zone 1, but where they have the contact, you can see inner clip 2 in that keyhole coming out, coming down the horseshoe from outer zone 2 into inner clip 2.
Yeah, in my mind, there's two ways you can look at this. Rome dove in before Chris was fully transitioned, and that's where the contact was made. And then the other way is that Chris was too slow transitioning, and Rome did not anticipate it in time.
Well, the plot thickens here. Man, this is going to be one heck of a... And to win here, Atlanta, it's a bragging right thing. This is our iconic track, round 2 of the Formula 3 Pro Championship of 8. This is the Type S Road to the Championship, presented by AutoZone. Don't go anywhere. It's electric. Can you feel it?
Is there an argument about whether pumice or walnut shell is the best abrasive in your hand cleaner? Not anymore. Fast Orange Premium brings the two abrasives together in one great heavy-duty hand cleaner that includes advanced skin protection. It's our best hand cleaner ever, and that's why we simply named it Premium. Fast Orange. We know a few things about cleaning hands.
Welcome to the streets of Long Beach. Look at that. It is a beautiful day here in Southern California.
K&N is back for another year as the official air filter of Formula Drift.
The final touch to my dream build is a Sony Mobile ES system. Time to cruise with Sony Mobile ES.
On race day, when we want to show everyone out there who's the best.
Here we go, Frederick Aasbo.
We really need to be focused. I tell myself, I got this. I'm the best there is.
The star is Frederick Aasbo. All right, well, back here as we clear the track of Rome Charpentier. Take a licking, but keeps on ticking. And guess what? Forsberg, RCP, battered Bruce, but still got the smile on his face. RCP jumps in the tow truck, not an ambulance this time. RCP, as he is smiling because we'll make it official here. We're talking to the judges. You know. Well, all right, so you can see. Let's make it official. Slide them one way for Forsberg, the other way for RCP. And he's sliding his way off track. All right, so RCP waving to the crowd there. And Brian Eggert, we're going to you. What did you see? And we're waiting for that graphic there, but what did you guys see, Brian?
Yeah, watching it, you see Forsberg in the lead come around, and as he's going through interclip 1, his car just kind of pauses for a second, and Rome's expecting him to be on gas going through there because it's not a deceleration zone, and he just kind of plows into him. So he's expecting him to be on gas going through it and continuing out the keyhole, and he just doesn't do that.
All right, so Rome Charpentier, you mean interclip 2. Yeah, no problem. Interclip 2, it seemed that he checked up, so take a look at it here. RCP gets the win, but let's analyze this again. So Forsberg goes up to outer zone 1, goes in outer zone 2, okay, and then when he goes into interclip 2, you'll see him check up.
And right there, his car just kind of pauses or cuts off or something, but definitely decels, and then Rome has nowhere to go but into the back of him.
All right, so a bit of a roadblock there for RCP. So watch this once again. Again, all the angles. It wasn't telling with the naked eye, and I honestly, like I said, it didn't sound 100%. You can hear and then bang. Yeah. All right, roadblock, nowhere to go. As we are seeing Chris Forsberg, he is knocked out, and there we have RCP, who is battered and bruised. He gets the win. Here we are. I'm Jared Deenda. Jacob Gens. We're up in the Tower of Power. Our judge is right in front of me. Talking about Brian Eggert, Robbie Nishida, and that of Reese Marin. DVD sign, the not-so-famous racing driver. So good. He booped the kid. Geez.
DVD's fighting back.
The not-so-famous racing driver. Who is he? But he's just getting beat up by a kid. Is he getting chicken blocked? I think he's getting chicken blocked. Is that the sign that I saw up there?
I think that's exactly.
I saw the sign. I turned around and I saw the sign. Right? Ace of Base.
I got you.
Big fan there. Brandon Sorensen, Odie Bakchis. Now, to remember, this was Sorensen's fault. Sorensen got aggressive right there at the finish line. He booped the snoot there as he crossed the finish line. He was at fault, almost had contact up top. Odie Bakchis and Brandon Sorensen. The second run here, Brandon Sorensen, high flying the Air Force BMW. He's going to lead. Odie Bakchis giving chase. Again, currently third in points. Let's see what Brandon Sorensen, see, he's got some ground to make up. All right, Brandon Sorensen go to lead coming down the hill. In that first interclip, let's see how Odie Bakchis, there it is, Brandon Sorensen, good initiation from him, passing inside the massive angle there from Sorensen, now coming up the hill into outer zone 1. Sorensen ripping and gripping, coming into that second outside zone. Now into that second clip where we just saw that damage there. Brandon hammering down, can barely hear yourself think. And Sorensen, I said he had to make it up, and he heard me, man, look at that. Past that inside clip, that final clip. But take into consideration that, let's just, was it an incomplete?
So,
this is where we lean on the judges.
Well, we talk about lead versus lead, chase versus chase. So, let's talk about that a bit here. And it's not definitive, that's how this is being judged, but take a look at Brandon Sorensen's lead run. Good job through the first inside clip. As we come up the hill for the first outside zone, he fills all of that. Odie Bakchis definitely lagging in behind. As we come through that second outside zone, that is where Odie made a large mistake. Inner clip, not too bad there from Brandon Sorensen as they transition back out. So when we get into this, it looks like, and the judges are calling for a side-by-side, which is great because I'm hoping will help explain this. Odie did make a very large mistake in the second outside zone, where in that same run in the chase, Brandon made a large mistake following at the last section. Here, Odie does not, I wouldn't say make a large mistake in the chase, but he isn't nearly as active as Brandon is. Brandon was being very, very aggressive, so aggressive that he obviously made contact. So that's what the judges need to take a look at as we are going to pull up here our racing side by side, so you can kind of understand a little bit better. So we do want to see, we obviously know where the mistakes are made. Was Brandon's lead better? If so, was it so much better that it makes up for the mistake that he made? Because we know in Odie's lead, he made a large mistake. So Brandon very, very tight on the chase here. You can see Odie right here. That's where he makes a large mistake. It's basically to get him into that inside clip, whereas Brandon doesn't make the same mistake. So it's a lot. There's so much going on. It's very difficult to break it all down here, but at the end of the day, what you have to ask yourself is, was Brandon's lead run so good that it makes up for the mistake that he made in the chase? Or, was the mistake that Odie made not so big, but his chase that wasn't nearly active overcome that.
Yeah, and I'm talking to Sage over here. We always kind of go offline here and talk, and he says where he hit him, he goes across the finish line. So is that you got to complete? It's just like any run. You got to complete the run. But dude, talk about battered and bruised.
Oh.
RCP, like you said, he's still got a smile on his face. How we doing out there, Atlanta? Make some noise! You say howdy, get rowdy. That's what's cracking out here. Round 2 of 8 of the Formula Jet Pro Championship. Everybody put your lights up on your phone. Oh, we got real flash. We got lightsabers? Let's get weird, nerds. That's what's up. Turn on your lights, light up the night. One more battle or one more definitive decision here to find out who forges our Torque Motorsports Grade 8 Torque Drift 2, the official drifting game of Formula Drift. Reese Marin, Brian Eggert, Robin Nishida hitting their tablets, getting into the cerebellum of Brian Eggert. No pressure, buddy. Can see right there, can see your horoscope. He's a Pisces. All right, anyways, we got this 2022 Chevy Traverse down here. All right, let's slide him left for Odie Bakchis or right for Brandon Sorensen. One more time. Odie Bakchis. Odie Bakchis gets the win. And Robbie, put on the headset, brother. Odie Bakchis gets the victory. Robbie, I can see you. Now we're gonna hear you. What's up, man? That contact, was that it?
Yeah, Sorensen did a great job giving chase, and when he, almost lost anywhere to go inside the horseshoe, he even played it off. He did a great job, but just got a little bit too aggressive. And we, rewatched the video many times to make sure that it wasn't Odie, coming to a halt or slowing down too much at the last inside clip. And we were watching to see if, how it unfolded. Was it before or after the finish line where the cars were spinning out? And but in the rules, the cars have to, finish clearly being under control. So I had to give it to Odie this time.
All right, thank you, Robin Nishida, for elaborating right there. Here we go with the, is this our first battle? First battle of the Grade 8. First battle of the Grade 8. James the Machine Dean, tall drink of water. An all-American battle here of the vehicles. Matt Field, the Beast of the Bay. Now, where's Matt Field going? Matt Field, he goes to left field as James the Machine Dean powers his way in that first outside zone, now into the second outside zone. James Dean, our current points leader. Matt Field, that Borley exhaust Corvette, having some issues here. And keep in mind, he used his competition timeout. So you only get one competition timeout. He used it previously when Jeff Jones had the deep beating. He didn't need to do that. And wow, what an unfortunate turn of events there for Matt Field. Now, James Dean needs to take into consideration if Field is maybe down on power, lacking that performance. How do you chase that? It's a hard act to follow.
Yeah, you can see right here, Matt Field already struggling. Either he initiated too soon, tries to keep the car on course, he center punches that inside clip. Well, James Dean doing a great job out in the lead, filling outside zone 1, filling outside zone 2, crushing inside clip, 1 there. And then right here, you can see that RTR Mustang just pushing, and the amount of speed and grip that those cars make is just nuts. Well, Matt Field lagging behind. Matt Field is normally one of the fastest cars we have on grid. Something is going on. He had a lot of hesitation there at initiation. Yeah. That could have been part of it. But regardless, he struggled through this run. He obviously struggled a little bit earlier. Are there other gremlins that they haven't been able to exercise at this point? We're not sure, but they're going to swap it around, and James Dean's got to take care of that.
Look at these numbers. 1,249 horsepower to be exact.
Oddly specific, yeah.
Weirdly specific. I know Ireland is cheering them on the Tata guitar. We'll see the luck of the Irish brings them any luck. But Matt Field, the Beast in the Bay, I'll tell you right now, he is not running 100%. He is kicking himself for using that competition timeout. Just didn't have the communique that Jeff Jones had that deep beating in his previous battle. Red lights extinguished, and it's go time. Here we go. Set it! Matt Field, James the Machine Dean, our current points leader, 3-time champion. He'd love to get a 4th, and Matt Field would love to get his 1st. But now let's see if he's running 100%, see if he's got a little loss for his throat, and he gets that unsprung voice. There it is. Now it's loud and proud of that Borley exhaust. Goes to that first outside zone. Now coming in second outside zone. You can see James the Machine Dean now coming in. And there we go. And look at, I'm telling you, with Matt Field maybe being down on power, having those issues, James, you can see the good proximity, good angle. Now coming in that final clip. I mean, all signs are saying, unfortunately, for Matt Field, James Dean, that chase position, that was a tough one.
Yeah, James had his number all through that chase. He made a lot of great predictions. He pushed really, really hard in the beginning here. So take a look at Matt Field's initiation. And then James Dean, just like a shark, hunting him down very slowly, allows him to change direction. Now, upside, James Dean being right-hand drive, able to stay out of the smoke in there. Bit of a, great benefit of having the driver's seat on the opposite side as they transition through here. Now he's able to start to look at Matt, understand the angle that's going on, and predict that transition as they come back up the hill. So Matt Field definitely had a lot of mistakes in the chase on his run. Does a really good job in the lead here. I don't want to take anything away. Dips a tire on the grass through that section, but I don't know. It's really tough to say. James Dean definitely had him on the chase. If we go back to the lead, did James Dean have a better lead run? If not, then now we're down to splitting hairs at this point in time.
Yeah, that was just really odd, very uncharacteristic. RTR for life, bro. Let's see that tattoo, young man. Get that RTR on your chest, on your, like, thug life. Get that 2-pack. Get that 8-pack, like V8.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
8-pack.
Makes sense.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
Let's keep it weird. Dude, do they not have the 2-pack statue anymore here in Atlanta? I used to visit too. I don't know if they have it anymore. I'm kind of bummed on it. But there it is. James the Machine Dean gets the win. It's unanimous. Look at this guy on a tear. James Taylor Dean, fire, rain, and now here he is in ATL talking about 2-pack, 8-pack, RTR for life. James Dean would love to get it for. Oh, here we go. The mustache meter. Burt Reynolds, Ron Burgundy. Okay, that's Richter. The Geiger counter over there. My man Brooks, he's got a solid stash.
Yeah.
Brooksy's over on the right. All right, here we go. Moving on to our next battle of this Grade 8, the Torque Drift 2, the official drifting game of Formula Drift. Frederick Aasbo, that Rockstar Energy Drink Toyota GR Supra, going against Forrest Wang in the Get Nuts Laboratory Yellow Speed Racing S15. This should be fun. Aasbo, he's not feeling 100%. He talked to Lorette. He's like, I know I got more, but he's got to put it against Forrest Wang. Here we go. Oh, Forrest, he applies the pressure. Big swing there from Frederick Aasbo. Now coming to that second outside zone. There goes Aasbo. Look at Wang, the BCL, Big Country Labs Wang gang sticking out of the smoke like a shark fin. Dialed in, he's got blood in the water. And this 3-time champ is put to the test by Forrest Wang. We always kind of, I wouldn't say criticize, but Forrest always had massive angle, but the speed, and he's found that. He's really found that. It's amazing to see.
Yeah, and he's able to wrangle it in there. He made a bit of a mistake in initiation, but doesn't overreact. Starts to use the inherent parts of the track where you can make up ground. Through the keyhole here, gets very, very aggressive. Frederick Aasbo out front. Looks like he's got his wheel speed dialed in. He's able to keep that car very settled. Lots of smoke, putting up the smoke screen, but also able to keep the tires underneath of him. So, love this initiation by Wang. Looks like there might have been a bit of contact there, but Forrest Wang able to keep things sorted, able to keep things, under control and not pushing so hard or making large dives or grabs just to keep things settled. So big mistakes in there from Wang for sure. Frederick Aasbo out front, one of the best lead runs we've seen today. Forrest Wang's got to throw hard. I expect to see a big initiation from Wang here.
Yeah.
Maybe to try and shake Aasbo off his tail, and then see if he can shoot it out of the hole from there.
Shake your tail feather?
Exactly.
He tried so hard, but in the end, it doesn't really matter.
Got so far.
Got so far.
Yeah.
But in the end, does it really matter?
No.
Okay. All right, we'll see.
It might matter. We'll see.
It might matter.
It's the win. It might matter.
It starts with one.
It does.
One thing.
I don't know why.
I don't know why. Here we go. Forrest Wang out front. Frederick Aasbo in that chase position. Here comes Forrest Wang. Again, that Big Country Labs Wang right in the face of Frederick Aasbo. And he did exactly what you anticipated, Jacob. Big entry. He's going against it. Oh, here comes Aasbo. Up the hill. He's not going to let him run away with it. Aasbo in formation. It's a dogfight here. We got the 808, the Hawaiian driver against Norway. Look at this place.
Wow.
Wow. Looks like Wiz Khalifa, Snoop Dogg, Killer Mike. Everybody's in the building. Cheech and Chong, I mean, this place is a smoke bowl right now. Look at that. Forrest Wang gang, big Wang thing. Put on one heck of a lead run.
Yeah, Forrest Wang very fast into initiation, holds the angle for a long time, doing exactly what I thought he would do, try and shake Aasbo off him, but isn't able to. And we can see here, Forrest starting to push out nice and wide. Aasbo doing a great job, just poking at him. I'm still here, little jab, little duck and dive as they come through that inner clip. And Forrest Wang with as much speed as we've ever seen out of him, trying to outdrive and outspeed Frederick Aasbo, which is not an easy thing to do, but Frederick Aasbo showing why he's a multi-time champ, showing why he is able to take down so many different drivers in so many different ways. As we come through the keyhole here, once again, look at the angle that Wang is getting through here. Holds it on and then whips it back around, but Frederick Aasbo able to time it, keep the angle, keep the proximity, mirrors it all the way through. Absolutely love it.
Full throttle, full focus. Oh, Aasbo. Drive like your kids.
Love it.
No. You want to drive slow? Be responsible? No, dude, let's get weird. Let's get creepy. Here we go. 1 vote for Frederick Aasbo, 2 votes for Frederick Aasbo, 3 votes for Frederick Aasbo. There it is. We're halfway through our grade 8 Torque Motorsports. Force Wang, great battle. But guess what? A battle of the Titans. Look at that. We are seeing James Dean and Frederick Aasbo. 6, count them, 6 championships between them. James Dean, look at that guy. Can you hear us from down there? Can you hear us? Love it. All right, well, again, don't go anywhere. We'll take a short break. The Norwegian flag waves high for Frederick Aasbo. You got Ireland versus Norway. On the other side, you got more Norwegian. You got American. You got that. Odie, Bakchis, RCP. Don't go anywhere. We'll come back, and we'll throw to the second half of our grade 8 here at round 2. The Type S Road to the Championship presented by AutoZone here at Road Atlanta. It's a packed crowd, and you're not going to want to miss any second of this action here at Road Atlanta.
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
On race day, when you want to show everyone out there who's the best,
Here we go, Frederick Aasbo.
you really need to be focused. I tell myself, I got this. I'm the best there is.
The star is Frederick Aasbo.
Looking for what comes next? For that moment when everything finally...
1 minute!
Whichever path you choose, it starts here.
All right, welcome back to Road Atlanta. We are here in the second half of this grade 8. So already in the Final Four, woo! James Dean and Frederick Aasbo. Lorette, what is the energy from that tall drink of water? 6'8", 6'7", 6, is he 7 foot? What's the energy from James Dean?
Listen, the energy down here, chaotic. There's a lot of moving parts. James, you take that deep breath moving forward. What do you have to do?
Yeah, so moving forward into top 4, great position to be in. I'm really, really happy. It's tricky out there because the smoke is lingering even from the battles before you. So visibility is a lot worse than practice. I think there's no wind there now, so the smoke is just lingering. So when I was doing my lead run, I even was caught off our own smoke going back up the hill. So it's quite blinding. And then the chase run was even worse. So it's It's pretty challenging out there, but the battle with Matt, I went as hard as I could. Felt strong. Obviously, it was a big battle after, you know, we had the incident in Irwindale. So I was feeling ready for it, and I just wanted to give it my best. It was a clean battle, and yeah, into top 4. I'm not sure who I'm battling, but
Gonna go against Frederick Aasbo, so we'll see you in the top 4 against that 3-time champion. Guys.
Whoa! Dan Burkett exit stage left. He saves it. Going into that first outside zone. Loses it. Almost goes into the wall. Simon Olsen, another Norwegian pilot, continues on. Dan Burkett gets it out there. All right, so, dude, what happened to Burkett?
Man, that was wild.
The rumble strip just grabbed him, man.
Yeah, I think he was trying to keep up with his good buddy Simon Olsen, and yeah, you know, you tip a wheel off, like we said, it's like a saw going up there. It's gonna rip into the side of the car, and Rad Dan gets a little rowdy in the dirt. So let's see here as we transition up in that first outside zone. Dan goes real wide, catches it, center punches, yeets off that clip. Looks like he's driving out of it. That beautiful Mark IV Supra holding up, although that wing has seen better days. That is the active arrow you don't want.
And the crazy thing about Dan Burkett, that car will come back at our next round and look just mint.
Yeah, you'd have no
flawless.
idea. Look at that.
Oh, bro.
Oh, man.
Can't park there.
No.
Ew.
Oh.
That was not Rad.
Not
that
so
was,
much.
That was the opposite. You know, Rad Dan, that was the complete opposite of Rad Dan.
Yeah.
That was dar. That was Darnad.
Darnad.
Darnad, bro.
Don't do that, Darnad. Oh, man.
What's your name backwards? I'm Doraj.
Bakchis.
Bakchis, I'm Doraj. Yeah. Egas Nar over here.
Yeah.
Brian Sage. Yo, amazing turn of events here. Oh, dude, Dan went off track. He DB'd, and that will be a forfeit on the side of Rad Dan. So all joking aside, an unfortunate turn of events for Rad Dan. Oh my gosh.
That was violent.
His wheel was a shovel, and he cannot dig it. He didn't want to dig it.
Viewer discretion advised. That was violent.
NC-17, kids, look away. Oh my gosh. Look at this guy.
So brutal. Let's watch
dirty.
it
I need to take a shower.
Oh,
now.
Oh, that drone. Oh, the drone.
That could have caused crazy damage, but regardless, it did DB'd.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately for Rad Dan. Yeah, unfortunately for him. Udestoke, Simon Olsen, another Norwegian. These Norwegians, the Norwegian takeover. I love the fish soup there.
Yeah, big fan.
Did you have the fish soup?
I did have the fish soup there. Let's have some like crazy pizza too. They cut it all weird. I don't know. It was delicious though.
Expensive, that Oslo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all joking aside, like I said, Rad Dan digs that back left corner in, and what a big hit there. I see his wife over here, Renee. She's still smiling, but that's just their attitude. I know the car will be mint. Livery looks great, but not when it's covered in mud. Sorry, Renee.
Yeah, red's not Dan's color.
Yeah, no. What's red, brown, and mulleted all over? Well, that's Rad Dan. So here we go. We're going to see Simon Olsen take a bye run. Oh, there's Joyce. Look at, and again, Joyce, I know Dan's like, oh, well.
Yeah.
Just that, golly.
Oh, man.
I'm just here so I don't get fined. Here we go. Simon Olsen bye run. Let's lay out. Listen to this V8 Vortex supercharged fuel suspension, pedal commander, GT radial, S14. Simon Olsen. Jacob, you're pointing some things out to me right now.
Yep.
Who finished 1, 2, 3 in Long Beach?
We got Dean Olsen Bakchis, who's still in play right now.
Dean Olsen, and who's up next?
Odie Bakchis.
Woo! We might see a repeat here. And I mean, again, what's that?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Aasbo, yeah.
Wow.
This is crazy.
Dude, what if Rome plays spoiler and just with all the getting into the kitty litter, getting into the back of Forsberg.
Hold my body kit.
Hold my body kit, bro. This is insane. Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
This is nuts. I mean, yeah, just looking at already looking at points races, we've seen this from Odie Bakchis too. Odie Bakchis had a couple years ago a real good run for the championship for 3 or 4 rounds and then had a really rough back half of the season. So You never know. That's the crazy part about this. But yeah, Odie Rome coming up next. One car that's looking absolutely beautiful. Another car that, I mean, looks like they pulled it out of a scrap bin at this point because there's not much.
Oh, man.
Hey, I love it. Dude, their team's got the whole thing back together.
You know what's ironic? Maybe he cursed himself. Give Moderns hell last year, and he gave the Modern hell all day today.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Odie Bakchis will lead. Rome Charpentier, RCP, will give chase. Battered bruise. That thing looks like the Chucky doll, but let's see what he's got. Speaking of Chucky, Aasbo's already in it. Here we go. Odie Bakchis. That field suspension, S chassis. Car looks similar, but it's got the orange roof instead of the high-vis yellow. Odie Bakchis. Look at this. He's on rails. This car looks like it's magnetic. Oh, buddy. Throws up that dirt cloud, little brown cloud. Look out. Outside of that keyhole. And look at Rome, just not shy at all.
Yeah.
Well done by Rome Charpentier, and even with Odie going off in that second outside zone.
Yeah, Odie is struggling in that second outside zone, which is very rare to see Odie struggle, period. But see here, good initiation there. Rome following in suit behind, would like to see him a lot closer. Odie not going super deep to that first inside clip. First outside zone looks great. Rome doing a good job on the mirroring and decides to cut some line here and cover a bit different of a line in order to keep proximity. Second inside clip looks great there from Odie, and then the speed goes on. Rome's car is definitely hurt. There's no way that thing is running at top tier. He's doing everything he can. Here's the hard part though. Rome's car, we know that alignment is as good as it's gonna get right now. Odie, who's gonna have a perfect alignment, has got to find a way to battle this out without being inactive and without just slamming into the side of him.
Yep.
So it's tough. It's really tough when you're going up against an injured car at this point. Like there's a lot to think about.
Well, you got like you said, perspective of how much do I trust fall this person?
Right.
You know, you're like, all right, hold my arm, trust fall. You know, how much you really trust them.
This is one of the only sports where you have to trust your opponent.
Right.
You have to know that they're going to do their job correctly so you can do your job correctly.
Here we go. RCP, sorry to cut you off. RCP, Rome Charpentier coming down the hill. Padoodle, whoa! There we go, losing parts here. But again, it was a fend. Oh, buddy! RCP goes rallycross, goes onto the grass. We'll see. We're going to have to run that back. Yeah. We are definitely going to have to run that back because Odie Bakchis finished out. He doesn't even need to finish it out.
No.
But I think it's smart because, oh my gosh! Holy cow. Make sure he's okay.
Yeah.
Get out, Odie. Get out. Get out. Get out, Odie. Get out. Hit that. Oh, son of a gun. Get out. I know he's out. Get out there, fire. Oh, shoot. God, what the heck? Oh, no. Hey, round of applause that Odie's outside of the car. That was a big explosion. Round of applause. Make sure that Odie's okay. Wow. That was intense. Yeah, that just exploded. Fire underneath. I mean, that's got to be a massive fuel line.
Yeah, that was a big pop.
I mean, that just absolutely popped going across. I'm glad Odie's okay. I mean, you know, we saw this with James Dean on Tuesday, media day, and now here we are. We're going to run back that replay. This is going to cause a bit of a delay here for more reasons. This was intended to be our final battle of the Grade 8. Let's look at it again. One for the contact.
Yeah. So Rome still trying to push through, and you can see he's not able to get the car back settled after Odie kind of booped him there a few times. Then, as you said, Odie didn't need to really finish this run. It's a good idea, just in case, finish your run. You never know what could happen. But then right here, as he transitions up, you hear a pop.
Holy
wow. Wow, something, yeah.
That was huge.
I feel like a fuel line or something. There's not many other things that are going to do that in a car that way.
Yeah, and we're hearing, that there's oil on the track. He very well might have popped like an oil line and then it incinerated on the, like.
That could be the case.
Yeah, watch this. So maybe contact.
Wow. So there was a pop beforehand and then another pop, but Odie doing the smart thing, getting the car slowed down, getting out of the car first, and then it looked like he pulled fire suppression after that, which would have slowed the flames down a little bit. But yeah, I see what you mean. It looks like there's an oil streak behind the car.
Oh yeah, look at that thing. It's shellacked.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if he popped an engine, and that's what the first crack was, and the second one was the block given way.
Oh my gosh. There it is in slow-mo.
There's the first pop. There's the second. Yeah, and third.
Wow.
So yeah, I have a feeling there's a window in that block right now.
And oh yeah, and you know, we still haven't deduced who got the win here. And you know, that tap, you know, analyzing it, I think Odie was too aggressive, to be quite honest. He had one tap, two taps, and yeah, I'm just glad Odie's okay.
We got absorbed.
Hey, Odie, round of applause for Odie Bakchis. Round of applause for him. Let him hear you, please. Odie! You talk. Hey, welcome. Again, you got knighted earlier about the announcer's curse.
Yeah.
Remember how you said Odie's, there it is. Round of applause for him. Odie Bakchis. You talked, yeah, thank you, brother. Glad you're okay.
Yeah.
You talked about how his car was clean and all nice and pretty. That's called the announcer's curse.
I gotta stop just saying things.
Yeah. Yeah, just stop talking.
Real hard.
Look at 1, 2.
Yeah, and I mean, it looked like Rome tried to get back on throttle to keep that going. Let's see here. 1, 2. Rome's wheels need to go to the right in that situation, right? You need to be steering right and turn left. Sounds a little counterintuitive. Thank you, Lightning McQueen. But when that second tap happened, it is quite possible, very similar to what happened with Diego Higa. The wheel gets knocked to one side. You get some crazy toe. Yeah, wow, that is hard to watch. I mean, I'm just happy he's all right. I mean,
yeah, it is really hard to watch because you know how much work goes into that. We saw this, you know, we saw this at round 1 or Tuesday before round 1, and then Odie, you know, he disconnected his cool suit. Yeah. So let's take a quick break here while things cool down, and we got a lot of oil, so we're gonna have to clean that up, and we'll find out who actually gets the victory here. Glad everybody's okay. Thanks for joining us here. That's right. Again, Jared, Deanna, Jacob Gens, our judges there analyzing. Is it Rome? Is it Odie? We know that James Dean, Frederick Aasbo, Simon Olsen are in our Type S Final Four. Who's going to join them? TBD here at FD ATL. This is Type S Road to the Championship presented by AutoZone. What a crazy, it's heating up here, literally and figuratively.
Looking for what comes next? For that moment when everything finally...
1 minute!
Whichever path you choose, it starts here.
Max Gear is a high-performance synthetic gear oil designed to provide maximum protection to heavily loaded gears. Its slippery synthetic molecules and center-look additive package not only reduce wear, they virtually eliminate both gear and bearing wear. We run 1,000 horsepower through our transmission and differential all season long and never have a problem. Eliminate a variable. Drift with Royal Purple Max Gear. Pour purple, Royal Purple. You can find Max Gear at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
モータースポーツで得た高度な技術をすべてのレイズホイール一本に込める魂は永遠に変わらない。ビヨンド・ザ・レボリューション。ザ・コンセプト・イズ・レーシング。
There's no better way to test your tires than on the racetrack. That's why at Kenda Tires, we compete with the same tires we sell. And that's how the technology built into every Bethesda UHP Max tire goes from podium to pavement. Whether you're a professional driver chasing podiums or a grassroots enthusiast looking for weekend excitement, Kenda Tires are designed for your journey.
NGK, the leader in high ignitability spark plugs, is proud to announce the launch of its Mod Performance Ignition Coils. Designed and built for performance, Mod Coils feature custom primary and secondary windings to increase output and performance. Mod Coils provide maximum levels of dielectric strength, voltage insulation, and durability. Level up like the pros. Choose Mod Performance Ignition Coils from NGK, the official coil sponsor of the Formula Drift Pro Spec class.
Well, if you're just tuning in, look at that. That is what, you know, it's basically solvent absorber, right? So it's this absorber. So you can see how much we laid down, and you have to deduce that that's what caused the fire on Odie. Oil line popped, maybe hit headers, intake, something just poof, incinerated, popped the car. That was wild. Maybe, you know, threw a rod and then oil pan opens up, gets on something hot, and then just explodes.
Yeah.
That was.
They're going way back. That first pop we had, that was probably the engine.
Yep. Wow. So, and have we deduced who got the victory?
I think they're still going back and forth.
I think they're still going back and forth with it. So,
I think they're
going to take their time. We obviously have to do some housekeeping here, get the oil off the track. So, you know, okay, it looks like. Okay, so we are getting the score here. So slide of left for Odie, who obviously, wow, look at this. Odie Bakchis gets 1 vote, 2 votes, and now 3 votes. So Odie Bakchis gets the win, and Odie would have to drive his car. So essentially, he would have to, I mean, I'm assuming he's not getting the car back in time. He would have to forfeit that round.
Yeah.
Simon Olsen, his teammate, would get the victory. But what an unfortunate turn of events here. And we'll get to that just for clarification. So let us collect our thoughts. Let's go under the hood with Christopher Forsberg, but Odie does get the win officially, and we'll elaborate on that, gather our thoughts, clean up the track, and we'll get back to you on that. But the final 4 is set. James Dean, Frederick Aasbo, Simon Olsen, and Odie Bakchis, teammates on one side, but obviously things are heating up here in Atlanta. But let's go under the hood, a new series as Chris Forsberg goes under the hood. We'll be right back.
What's up, everybody? I'm Chris Forsberg. We're here at Forsberg Racing. This is where we do everything, not just drifting, but road racing, off-road, all of it. But today we're getting things ready for Formula Drift Long Beach, first race of the weekend. We got our extra help coming in from out of town to make sure we have everything dialed in for the weekend, so let's get under the hood. These are all of our championships. So we finished in the top 3 8 times, which is pretty rad. 3 championships and 5 top 3s as well. One of our most successful years in 2016, we won the championship, and we actually didn't win a single race. We went 6 podiums in a row. I think that being in Orange County, or Costa Mesa specifically, is really great for our program because we have so many different resources at our fingertips. Also being in Southern California, we have so many different teams and drivers that have the supplies that you might need. Just being able to work together and having this huge community in SoCal is very helpful. Drifting it's my life. It's all I've ever done. Since I was able to drive a car, I've been trying to slide it. I've been to every single Formula Drift event. We have the most podium finishes. We have the most championships with 2 other drivers. And so just overall, just consistently pushing the limits of drifting. Being at that initial, like, groundbreaking foundation of drifting in America and still being here today and still running in the top with everybody is really important to me. Like, it's what I know, it's what I'm good at. And so when I was on the East Coast, there was like this slow development of media really starting to take over. And I found myself going back to California a lot to do these shoots, right? And so it was like, I gotta get back to California. Like, you know, it's kind of like that internal instinct of like, don't miss the wave, right? And that's what brought me to California in 03, which is how I landed in FD in 04. And so same thing like that. 2016, I was like, I gotta get back to California. You know, I love it here, and this is my home now. Years ago, I got inducted, and so it was myself, Ryan Campbell, and Robbie Gordon were the first 3 people that were inducted into the Los Angeles Sports Walk of Fame, and we got our plaques in the ground. Like with all the trophies and all the cool memorabilia and all the cars and stuff, this is the one thing that's gonna be around long after I'm gone.
Chris Forsberg gets the win.
You know, we don't have the wildest machine shop, but it's all the machinery that we need to build what we do here in the shop. We use hard stock for doing our motorsports harnesses and the race cars. We'll do like our simple little pieces here. Same thing with like machine work. All of our engines are built off-site. However, we'll do like final assembly and things like that here. Fabrication-wise, like we're not building you know, full billet intake manifolds here, but if we have to like, you know, cut, grind, weld, things like that, we'll do that here. We're still just chasing after that podium. Of course, it's easy to say we're chasing for a 4th championship. That's what we do every year. We come to win. And so would love to be the first to 4. And I think that we have a really good shot at it this year. It's going to be a super crazy competition this year. So many diverse drivers. Everybody's running 10 out of 10. There's not too many new cars that you have to like worry about. Someone like Aasbo debuting a new chassis and maybe they'll have an issue. Like everybody's very dialed and locked in with their current package. So it will certainly be difficult, but I think that we have one of the best chances that we've had in a long time for it. I think we put a lot of extra effort into the off season this year to give our car a little more flash, a little more style, a little more color, more pop, having some more carbon fibers, some more little angular bits on it to make it look less smooth on track, if you will. The body on the car has been pretty you know, factory for the past 2 years, and now there's more aftermarket parts available. We have you know, more angular pieces wrapped around the bottom of the car to help with the visualization of throwing the car to angle. We have a really, really great team going this year. Everybody's vibing together really well, working hard. This is our buddy Camden Fox. He's from, where are you from? Indianapolis, Indiana.
Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Fort Wayne, Indiana. You know, it's a smaller town outside of Indianapolis. My dad's from Indianapolis, so you guys should hang out. And so what Cam's doing here is getting our extra calipers on here, and the rotors are on, and we're gonna put our dry brakes on these brake lines and get them, how would you say it, preloaded, if you will. We're gonna preload them with fuel so that when we swap a subframe, we can actually just quick disconnect it, get in the car, and have a full rear suspension dropout change, and ideally under than 10 minutes. So part of the Formula Drift rules is that we have to utilize the unibody chassis of the car from shock tower to shock tower, and we have to utilize the factory suspension mounting points within 2 inches. So you can see we move our suspension point about 2 inches in a couple different places, but we are not allowed to completely change the subframe out. We have to utilize the factory style, because that is one of the cool things about drifting is that you can run so many different types of vehicles. They're not custom spec chassis, they're not you know, just off the wall builds. They are unibodies that you can buy and build on your own. So running the factory subframes for the factory vehicle is what keeps everybody in check. Foot on the wheel. Big foot. There you go. Okay, feet out. Cool.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh.
I would say that, yeah, it definitely helps to have a shop to, you know, do all these modifications, where we have a place to have the machinery to make the modifications, but you would be surprised with how far you could get building a professional drift car with the accessibility that you now have to parts. Like back in the day, we used to have to make everything. There were very few parts you could just buy and bolt onto the car. We were making our own angle kits and cutting and modifying knuckles, things like that. And now, making a car like this would be very difficult in your own home garage, but technology is pretty amazing nowadays. We like to do things, you know, the old-fashioned way and make it ourselves and make it better.
As Forsberg continues on, and all new team, Forsberg, dialed right now, he's got the VR setup, the GTR.
So this is our 3rd year on the Nissan Z chassis, and we actually, when we first got it, it was a bone stock car top to bottom, and we built it in like 5.5 weeks, and it was a heavy lift, right? So it was getting some upgrades throughout the year, right? We're finding little ways to make the car better. It hit the ground running. We qualified 6th right out of the gate with a brand new build, so we're really happy about that. But Overall, we've been finding little ways to make the car better, easier to work on. We found a lot of weight. We pulled 50 pounds out of the car this year, a lot of it off the front end, which is the worst place that you want that extra weight to be. Still utilizing the VR38 engine. We have higher compression this year. We have slightly smaller turbos, and we're basically maxing them out to get the most efficiency out of them possible to get the response that we're looking for. The V8 setup, I really did enjoy it, but I still don't think that it would be able to make the power that we need to compete out there. We're fully committed to the VR38 twin turbo, making 1,000 to the ground now, so it's about 1,200 at the crank. And yeah, the car's been fantastic for the past 2 years. The VR30 is the engine that comes in the new Nissan Z, so it has a twin turbo V6 engine. However, this is the VR38, this is a GTR engine. So it's a slightly stronger block foundation. It's a different casting, it's a different setup, and it just has a little more aftermarket behind it since it's been available since 2009 versus the VR30 has only been out for a few years. And we know that these are capable of making a lot of horsepower. There's guys that are making 2,000 horsepower on factory blocks and upwards of 4,000 horsepower on billet blocks. So whenever it comes to drifting, if someone says something's rated for 1,000 horsepower and your drift car is making 1,000 horsepower, you're gonna break it. So to fit this engine into the car, there's a slew of custom components that we put into it outside of just engine mounts and transmission adapters. But we run the pretty typical GSR 4-speed NASCAR style transmission, which is mated up to a SFI style bell housing, and we have a custom adapter plate that adapts that to the engine. Outside of that, we have a daily dry sump oil pan to eliminate the front differential and the front factory oil pan so that we can get the engine sitting nice and low. We have a custom intake manifold. We make our own turbo exhaust manifolds. We use Garrett twin turbo G30 660s this year. We went a little smaller. We're running G30 770s last year. And then everything else that you see under here is pretty custom with the PWR intercooler, the way we make the piping, intakes, the hot pipes, the exhaust, the down tubes, and all that. All the plumbing, everything is all done here in-house.
Wow, going under the hood as we saw the hood pop on Odie's vehicle as we gather our thoughts. Thank you so much for your patience. Final four is set, but I'm going to throw it down to Lorette Nickel. Lorette, I mean, up here in the stands, the fans, I mean, we're talking about it. That was crazy. What's going on with you up there?
Well, first and foremost, we wanted to grab Odie for all right. That question, no injuries, and he's not hurt. Odie, what did you experience inside the car?
Well, going in the burnout box, honestly, the car just had a little bit more vibration, but it still had really good power. Everything was, the outputs were fine. But my intuition was like, okay, maybe the exhaust is cracking, there's a little bit of vibration. I ran it. I mean, we're not going to not run it. It ran absolutely great throughout the whole run. It was amazing power. Yeah, crossing the line, massive pop. So I went from 1,000 horsepower to nothing. And then after, trying to drive off, when it popped, it went straight towards the K-rail. So from angle, it straightened out, and there's a K-rail really close to the finish of the finish line. And that's what worried me the most. It wasn't, yes, there was a fire. I need to get out of the car, but I knew if I don't muscle without power steering out of the grass, the car's gonna go into the K-rail, and then it hurts. I've gone into the K-rail head on like that. It hurts a lot. So that was my first thought. And then as soon as I got out of that, then it was like, okay, how quickly can I stop the car? And I realized, man, I'm moving pretty fast. It's taken a while to actually stop this thing. And unbuckling, I have my cool suit fitting. I had my helmet fitting. There's a lot of stuff I got to undo before I could even get out of the car. So it's just managing stopping and hopping out. And then when I hopped out, I mean, it was getting worse and worse. I was like, I got to get away from this thing. There's nitrous in it. The Ignite race fuel is still running through its veins. This might not be great. I pulled, thankfully, the fire suppression on my way out, and I think that really allowed the crew to respond, and they responded quickly and saved my car. Otherwise, it would have, just melted all the way.
Did the fire come inside the car?
I felt it pulling the out because it was getting hot. As soon as it's hard to breathe or you feel and smell something, that's when this is not good. Honestly, what got me going really fast is Amy. I don't know how she saw it over the radio. I heard it over all the sounds. Odie, get out of the car. Odie get out of the car. It was like a siren, like an alarm, like over and over and over. And that's when I was like, yes, I'm trying, but yes, I got to go even faster, even if I have to like rip these wires off of me that are hooked up to get out of the car.
Yeah. We're so relieved that you're okay, Odie. You were awarded that win, and now I know you have a lot of work ahead of you.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going back to California until Orlando, unfortunately. But, you know, that's how it is. We're vested in the sport. You know, luckily, thankfully, I have my family out here, my kids, my wife. So I got to enjoy the moments while they're here before they fly home. And, you know, we'll see what happens. A lot of work for me. And I got to really sweet talk my crew into staying longer and working longer. So.
Okay. Odie, we're so relieved you're okay. Thank you so much for all your insight. Jared.
You know, you could just feel the emotion there. Thank you, Lorette, for asking the hard questions, and you could just feel it. You hear it, you see it. Now you can really see it. So, you know, the verdict there, Odie, like you said, he's got the support, but let's see what's going on. Now let's elaborate with Reese Marin. If you could throw on your headset there and elaborate, you know, one, the judging, as well as with Odie getting the win. So why did Odie get the win, for one? And then two, as far as advancement, what's going to happen here, Odie Olsen?
So what it really came down to is that we do notice that when Odie was chasing Rome, there was a little bit of contact there. There was a bump, and there was another little tap. We as the judges don't feel that those bumps or those hits caused Odie to go off track the way it did. We kind of see that he kind of just coasted a little bit.
For Rome to go off track.
Yeah, for Rome to go off track. We kind of see, you kind of see comes here. There's a tap there. There's another tap there, and then he kind of just coasts a little bit, gets back on throttle, goes off track into the gravel pit. We don't feel that Odie's hits were hard enough in order to make Rome's car react that way.
Okay. So yeah, yeah, you know, this wasn't a Diego Higa tap. That was pretty substantial. It was parallel, and you saw Odie pull right. And you know, like you said, just scrutinizing this. So there you go. You guys are unanimous with that. Odie now gets the win. Have you guys discussed, Robbie? Have you guys discussed now? You know, as far as the judge now with Odie moving on. He's not going to be able to run. Like, he needs a new motor. It's not going to be put back together. What happens with the Olsen-Odie battle?
So the Olsen and Odie battle is pretty much going to be Olsen having to do his by run, and he's pretty much going to be a free pass up to the finals. So now we're going to have to find out who's going to move ahead and go against him. Is it going to be Dean or Aasbo? Okay, so Simon Olsen will advance on due to Odie having to retire, so it will be a bye run there. Thank you, Reese. Yep, thank you so much. Reese giving some clarification there as far as the verdict. Robbie Nishida giving us some insight. So again, they don't feel that substantial. Boom, it's a hit. Looks like Rome, you know, you can see the wheels. He's at angle, and then just the other tap. He shoots right. Yeah. Okay, thank you. This is a sight lap due to, obviously, all the oil being down on track. So, yeah. So James Dean, Frederick Aasbo, they will get sight lap just to make sure that the oil slick has all gone away.
Yeah, I mean, the track staff here, it's a world-class facility.
Absolutely.
They know what to do. They've been through this before, but obviously we want to make sure that the drivers know what it feels like, know what they need to do, you know how the car is going to react. So sight lap, very similar, you know, rain. So yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, absolutely, we love you, Odie. And again, some what's up, Doc? As it's been a crazy night. It just gets to this point, and this is what we anticipate, man. I mean, Formula Drift. I was just talking to, coincidentally, Stefan Papadakis, who manages Frederick Aasbo's vehicle, and I feel like everybody's vehicle is at 11.
Yeah.
What that means is it's a 1,000+ horsepower vehicle running on the razor's edge, maxing out the angle. I mean, these are Group B rally cars in its prime. These are absolutely weapons. And it's just amazing to see. But with that, you know, Oppenheimer bomb, you know, it's on that razor's edge.
Yeah, it's so tough, and we've had to get to this point again. This happens every few years where some parts of the components start to, I guess, not develop as fast. But now the cool thing is we're going to get a massive development in parts after this. So we've seen it happen with angle kits, we've seen it happen with tires, suspension, all this. So they're running these at 10 tenths all the time.
Absolutely.
They're going through a lot of engines, and I mean, next we'll see what happens with horsepower.
Yeah, talk about this. Right? At 11, James Dean. He saw this in Long Beach. Here we go. James Dean, Frederick Aasbo, the winner here goes on against Simon Olsen. You know who's guaranteed a podium? James Dean, guaranteed third, even if he loses. And of course, because Odie, you know, that would be crazy. But here we go. James Machine Dean, our points leader, going against Frederick Aasbo, currently 5th in points. 6-time champions between these guys, 3 aside. James Dean back at it. Seeing that speed there, mile per hour, lifting it up. You can see the accelerometer there on their windshield going into that first and now into the horseshoe. Ooh, James Dean comes a little bit short on that second outside zone. Now past that second inside clip in the horseshoe. Frederick Aasbo navigates outside of the horseshoe. Now past and into that final clip and past where that oil was, so that's good. I think, you know, we're seeing smoke, not seeing it get loose. That's a good thing. Track is clear. Thank you so much to the staff. Yeah, crazy, man. I'm just, you know, one, I haven't eaten a lot, cranked a lot of Rockstar recovery. I need some recovery.
Yeah, James Dean doing a really good job in initiation, obviously. A little sketchy through that section, gets back on the power right away. Frederick Aasbo, phenomenal transition there. So hard to do, buried in the smoke. Holds that outside zone almost better than James Dean does, who gets into late into the second outside zone. Great job through that inside clip. Frederick Aasbo once again fighting that Rockstar Supra through the smoke and able to keep things intact. A little bit of hesitation as we come up the hill. These drivers are pro. They've driven in all sorts of conditions. Kitty litter is not a problem at this point, but look at that transition. Frederick Aasbo, I mean, he was known as the robot for a while, and it's just because he's so perfect and knows how to anticipate every single move that's happening for the driver in front of them. When you've got James Dean, multiple-time champion, in front of you, you know he's going to run hard, you know he's going to run clean, and that's what we saw here. Aasbo anticipating, Frederick Aasbo just doing what he does best, driving clean, driving phenomenally.
Yeah.
Now we're going to swap him around. This is going to get wild.
Yeah, I think Aasbo is really going to twist the screws. He wants to get it back. And you said statistically they've gone against each other 11 times.
11 times. James Dean has won 7. Frederick Aasbo has run 4. So there's some redemption that Aasbo wants back here.
Absolutely. All right, here we go. Frederick Aasbo, the Norwegian Hammer out front. James the Machine Dean. Again, 3 championships on either side, and here's Aasbo, big angle. James Dean buried in that Nitto tire smoke, now coming up the hill. Big angle from Aasbo, look at this. Can he get it back? Really well done on that second outside zone by Aasbo. James wasn't out there. Look at that dial. Oh, wow. Headlight to tail light on that transition between Aasbo and Dean around that final clip. And James, massive angle, he slaps back using all the course. That was a tank slapper, a knee slapper, and he was slapping the base big time. Dude, that transition,
man,
that was so sick.
Look at the angle that Aasbo throws in here. We talk about him being a robot, but damn, he's got some style programmed in. That was amazing to see out of Aasbo. James Dean getting gapped a little bit coming up there, and Frederick Aasbo absolutely crushes the second outside zone. That is crucial because James Dean did have a rough time through that section, so Frederick Aasbo knows his spotter would be telling him, hey, this is the spot you can make up ground. If you can crush outside zone 2, you're going to have a massive advantage. So this is going to be tough. I have a feeling we're going to get a side-by-side here, but look at the amount of angle that Aasbo, it's almost like he knew the kitty litter's not going to have as much grip, so he can just huck it and let it ride coming down that hill. Damn.
Yeah, you're talking about the stuff that picked up the solvent?
Yeah. I feel
you think he's using that to his advantage?
And I wouldn't put it past him. I think he's like, hey, I know that this is going to let me slide a little bit more. I'm going to huck 90 degrees and hold it for like 40 feet.
Again, you know, talking to Papadakis, kind of the mad scientist down there, I was talking with him, and this is what every team is doing, just really driving for that victory on every single run. We saw in 32 on how electric that was. Here we go. Who's going against? Simon Olsen. Aasbo gets 1 vote, 2 votes. There it is. Frederick Aasbo's going to the finals. Aasbo is going to the finals. James Dean will get 3rd place because he is currently number 1. So look at that. Oh, the fans are saying that James Dean should have got it, but
sorry.
Hey, sorry. I would have to agree. That second outside zone by Aasbo, a little bit better than Frederick Aasbo on that lead run. I think that, right? I'm seeing Robin Ishida shaking his head saying, yeah, that's it. We got a quick little sight lap from Simon Olsen. When we come back, we'll get that bye run, and then we will see Frederick Aasbo versus Simon Olsen, all Norway, 1 and 2, and then James Dean in 3rd. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Next stop are the finals.
Is this it?
This is it!
Passionate about a life in racing? Circle track, drag racing, drifting, or monster jam. Find it all at the University of Northwestern Ohio.
The passion here is very different than I've seen in any other school. You guys set them up very, very well to succeed and to win in a big-time way.
The fact there's a school you can go to for racing is just a little bit insane, but it's very cool because it gives kids like me the opportunity to chase that dream.
See where your future can take you with a high-performance motorsports degree from the University of Northwestern Ohio.
If you think the only thing that really matters
is how fast you can go, we want you.
Join us at Toyota Racing.
So the next step was to get this thing on a proper ECU, especially with all the technology that Link has to offer.
Which should give us full communication and full control over all the sensors.
But so far, being able to log in and review every lap has been a huge plus.
To have Link pull through and step up for us and just help us out to be able to all pull it together.
That's all we need. Simple, cheap, easy, works, good ECU, weatherproof.
It's got enough IOs too, like we're doing tons of stuff. Oil, fuel pressure, boost control.
All those features I have thanks to Link ECU.
All right, so here we are. We are getting the other side of the Final Four bracket, brought to you by Type S, the official lighting of Formula Drift. On the track, under the cars, Type S, the road to the championship, presented by AutoZone. Speaking of championship, Frederick Aasbo, Simon Olsen. Round one, James Dean, Simon Olsen, Odi Bakchis. That was 1, 2, 3. Well, James Dean is out. He gets third place, but Simon Olsen will better him. Will it be second? Will it be first? If Simon Olsen gets the win, he takes the lead in the championship after round two, because he gets a second and a first, or 2 seconds. So we'll see.
And think about it this way too. I mean, both Norwegians, but it plays so much bigger than that. You know, Aasbo is like God in Norway, and Simon Olsen is coming up and fighting and being scrappy. Like, this is huge. This means so much. Yeah, this is wild. So check out the bye run here from Simon Olsen, and man, let that thing scream.
Yep, let it rip, Tater Chip. Sight lap first, now bye run.
Yeah.
Go up, change his tires, and then get ready for an all-Norwegian final. Statistically, what are we looking at, Jacob? You looked it up.
Yeah.
Aasbo versus Olsen.
Frederick Aasbo has beaten Simon Olsen 5 times.
How many times has Olsen beaten Aasbo?
None. This is it. He is fighting for his first win against a mentor. Like, oh. So, yeah, let's whip down to Lorette, who's got Frederick Aasbo getting ready to battle.
Well, Frederick Aasbo here, and normally the code that me and the drivers have is if I can go in for an interview, they'll look at me. Freddie was just getting ready for his battle, and he was watching that last battle. Watching that battle, Freddie, what were you learning?
Yeah, so I'm, now that we're in the finals, I'm trying to watch what Simon is doing, and you know, first I got to say I'm so proud of him. He's been one of those guys that have delivered on the promise that he's going to be here competing with the best, and now he's at the top. So Simon is doing it, and I'm excited to battle him, and I'm excited to have gotten this far. And you know, those 2 runs with with James, that's what it's about. You know, I think both James and I can agree that we were all in, and you know, we got the curveball sent at us with the oil spill, and we just gave it absolutely everything we got.
And it must inspire a lot of confidence for you going against a driver like James Dean. You know he loves this sport so much. You know he's a straight-up driver. That confidence for you must be at an all-time high.
Yeah, I mean, arguably James is at the top, right? And he's proven that over and over again, and he's clearly on a redemption tour after last year. And he dominated Long Beach, and he's looked fantastic here today. And I'm just happy we got our stuff together in time. And I've been struggling in practice. The car broke down 3 times on us, but the boys have been doing everything in their power to get me back out. So I'm just grateful to be there. Now I'm very excited to go out there and give it all I've got against Simon.
With the car breaking down those 3 times, what was the problem? Do you know?
Yeah, so first time we basically dropped a bolt, front lower control arm, the lower ball joint bolt came out. And that happened in the pits, luckily. And then we had a misfire. So Steph and I, we were filming something for YouTube. We had the spark plugs out, and we were probably too busy filming and to not focus on putting the plugs back in the proper way. And we're still learning over here. And the 3rd time, we broke the transmission. So luckily now she runs strong. I'm loving this car, loving the Supra at this track, and just want to keep it going.
Well, we are going to keep it going in just a few minutes. We are going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, the finals, an all Norwegian affair. We'll see you soon.
Is this it?
This is it!
Passionate about a life in racing? Circle track, drag racing, drifting, or monster jam. Find it all at the University of Northwestern Ohio.
The passion here is very different than I've seen any other school. You guys set them up very, very well to succeed and to win in a big-time way.
The fact there's a school you can go to for racing is just a little bit insane, but it's very cool because it gives kids like me the opportunity to chase that dream.
See where your future can take you with a high-performance motorsports degree from the University of Northwestern Ohio.
If you think the only thing that really matters
is how fast you can go, we want you.
Join us at Toyota Racing.
So the next step was to get this thing on a proper ECU, especially with all the technology that Link has to offer.
Which should give us full communication and full control over all the sensors. But so far, being able to log in and review every lap has been a huge plus.
To have Link pull through and step up for us and just help us out to be able to all pull it together.
That's all we need. Simple, cheap, easy, works, good ECU, weatherproof.
It's got enough IOs too, like we're doing tons of stuff. Oil, fuel pressure, boost control.
Okay, well, the finals are upon us. James Dean, points leader. We'll see. Probably first and a third and 2 seconds. I don't know. We'll do.
Yeah.
Look, we're not good at math. What we're good at, talking, announcing Type S Road to the Championship presented by AutoZone. We'll find out officially, but we know James Dean gets third, and a Norwegian is going to win. But which one is it going to be? Fredrik Aasbo, 3-time champion, or Simon Olsen, who is firing on all cylinders, literally. And his teammate, Odi Bakchis, team captain there. Odi exploding there, across the finish line, slowing things down, but not his fault. It was scary. I'm glad he's okay. But now it's Fredrik Aasbo versus Simon Olsen. Olsen got second in Long Beach in the wet conditions. Aasbo and Olsen have seen battles against each other in Formula Drift 5 times. Aasbo's won all of those 5 times. He's undefeated. Pat his head a little bit saying, oh, I'm so proud of him. But you know what? Olsen's like, you know what? You're going to be proud of me when I beat you. That's what he wants. But we're going to see Simon Olsen, Fredrik Aasbo. This is how it all went down. I mean, just a crazy, crazy, exciting day. And this is only round 2 of 8. So you're going to want to tune in for the entirety of the season. We have Orlando in just a few weeks. We got E-Town, obviously on to before that we got St. Louis. Then we're on to Seattle, Utah, and then finally Irwindale to crown a 24 Formula Drift champion. There we are looking at the signature bandit helmet of Fredrik Aasbo. He's running that since he drove Chucky at the Red Bull Drifting World Championship. Remember that back in the day? Yeah.
Throwback.
Yeah. How we doing, boys? Ladies, children of all ages? There you are. Yep, look at cameras. Where you at? I don't know what to do with my hands. Yeah, that's what's up. ATL holding it down. My man saying, go Braves, go Hawks. And yeah, why don't you, here we are taking a look if you're going to join us at another round. Here's the schedule. Orlando, like I said, just a couple weeks. E-Town, St. Louis, Seattle, Grantsville, Utah, just outside of Salt Lake City, and then finally Irwindale. Hey, let's light up the night. If you're still here, turn on those lights. Let's get some videos. Let's get some photos and light up the night for my man Larry Chen and his dudes and all our media cats. Thanks for sticking around. Some of y'all leaving. Why y'all leaving? Some of y'all, just a few of you. So we're going to that burnout box, light up the night, turn on your lights on your phone. There you go, like my man right there. See that? We are the drift world. We are the children.
Man, it's going to look like a T-Pain music video.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yep, let's go. There we go. We're lighting it up. Yeah, you, brother. How we doing? Look at it. Lighting it up. Talking to a gentleman that has done our audio since day one. He talked about Lanier developing those natural grandstands and absolutely loving how this is filled up. He's no longer with us, but he designed this natural amphitheater, and he's like, that's exactly what, oh, my man got strobe lights. Oh, oops, I'm having a stroke. Oh, yeah, boy.
Easy.
Oh, boy.
Easy.
Light stick raves. All right, they're in that burnout box. Beat the beat. Simon Olsen, Fredrik Aasbo. You know, Olsen's family's here. I know Aasbo, you know, they're his family cheering him on. I don't know if they're in ski or if they're here in the States. I know Aasbo splits his time. You know, his wife Hunter is always tuning in. She's a drifter as well. And look at that.
Yeah.
Right there, right next to each other.
All of Norway is awake right now.
Yeah, all Norway is cheering them on.
They're waiting. This is huge. This is absolutely huge.
Right? What time is it in Oslo right now? Oslo, wake up. Cheering them on. Again, the drift world. First of Mai went over there and announced the event. Been over to, as you say, Gottville. It's 4 a.m.
Yeah. Guaranteed.
There you go.
Yeah.
The Norwegian flag flew the highest here tonight. Are you ready to send it, Atlanta? It's Fredrik Aasbo, Simon Olsen. Who's winning here at round 2 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship? We know it's a Norwegian, but which one's it gonna be? Simon Olsen leads, Fredrik Aasbo chasing him down. A Rockstar energy drink, Toyota Supra. Olsen initiates. Good angle for both of them past that inside clip. Simon Olsen on rails, up the hill, that first outside zone. Look at the angle from Olsen. Aasbo. Olsen puts it right that second. Look at Aasbo, shallow on that second inside clip. Now transitioning into that final clip. Olsen is absolutely dialed. Wow. Olsen put it looked like Aasbo of yesteryear. I mean, just again, was it the big wow X factor? I think he was, you know, kind of maybe trying to force Aasbo into chase position and make a mistake, but really well done by Olsen out front.
Yeah, Simon Olsen using all the tracks. He gets into this initiation of our final run, does a good job through that inside clip, doesn't quite punch it. Fredrik Aasbo getting lost a little bit in the smoke as they push up to that first outside zone. Simon keeping the smoke going, only using a little bit of that decel zone. filling all of outside zone 2. Could have been a little bit deeper on that inside clip. Frederick Aasbo mirroring Simon Olsen almost perfectly. Look at that. Beautiful. Oh, man, you can tell these guys have driven together for years. You can tell the competition. Simon Olsen just trying to lay down a Frederick Aasbo-esque run. But you see some wavering there from Frederick Aasbo in the chase, in a little bit deeper. You know, that is a spot where Simon Olsen can definitely make up some room, is in that keyhole. And you know a spotter Max is going to be on the horn saying, look, if you want to beat him, this is where we're going to beat him. It's going to be in the iconic keyhole. You've got to door him.
Yeah, he's going to have to door him, and he's going to have to fill that second outside zone. Aasbo came up a little bit short on that second outside zone, and that has been a critical point, what the judges have really been focusing in on. But to your point, what you brought to attention is that second inside clip in the keyhole. Olsen wasn't as close. Aasbo was. So here we go. Let's send it for potentially the final time. Who's going to get the win, Aasbo or Olsen? Aasbo out front, Rockstar Energy Drink, Toyota, GR Super, Nitto Tires, massive angle. Olsen now throws it in. Aasbo center punching that inside clip, but Olsen not even in the same chat room right now. Going into that second outside zone, Olsen does come up a bit short here. Aasbo, again, undefeated against Olsen. Olsen wants to get it back. He's looked up to him. Aasbo gives him nothing but respect until right now when it comes down to that top spot. Aasbo and Olsen, an amazing battle. Did Olsen do enough? There's James Dean, high five all around. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, you can teach an old dog new tricks. That was, I mean, almost a backy coming down the hill there. So once we switch back to this replay, take a look at this initiation. Wow, that's like the one cone. Frederick Aasbo is already sideways, but he does center punch that cone really hard. First outside zone does a good job, leaves a little bit too early, but then starts to fill most of the second outside zone and does a really good job there through that inside clip. Simon Olsen doing everything he can basically to keep up with this absolute rocket ship of a Rockstar Energy Drink Supra to come across the line. So a couple of spots here on the lead where, I mean, as much as it was sick to see that initiation, look at that, that's beautiful. He does center punch that inside clip. That is a detriment to his run there. Simon Olsen doing his best to follow that. Is it a followable initiation? Really, really hard to say.
Yeah, this is getting hairy here right now. Just talking to Ryan Sage, president, and just analyzing this run. Were there mistakes? Yes. Do we have a winner? Oh, look at this. Look at that. You got 5, 10, 15, 30 for Aasbo. According to these guys,
it's tight.
It's real tight, kids.
Never go slow, work hard like a rhino.
Well, if we have a winner, hey, how's everybody? You guys want him to go one more time? Should we see him go again? Well, guess what? You know when the graphic comes up, they are going one more time! Look at this, the fans are elated. Talking to Jacob here, talking to Ryan Sage, and there it is. They are going one. When you know the graphics up, they're going one more time. If we had a winner, we would have brought him up. But the case is, they are going one more time. So guess what, kids? We're still partying here under the lights. Frederick Aasbo, Simon Olsen, and wow. So get some fresh rubber. Hey, one of the judges throwing the headset. Robbie, come on, man. Let's hear you. This is the finals. Let's get excited, brother. What transpired there? One more time from y'all. What's up?
I think the biggest reason why we did do it one more time was, there's separation between these two cars, but at initiation at the inside clip 1, Frederick Aasbo kind of center punched the inside clip, so that kind of gave a separation to Olsen to try to keep up with him. And after that, he couldn't close the gap so much, but we kind of put that into Aasbo's fault. But Aasbo did do a little better at the outside zone too, and it's, going back and forth and looking at it, we thought one more time would probably be the best result.
I love that you brought up essentially cutting the course there on that inside clip. That created that gap, and that was kind of the point of contention for me, where I was maybe leaning towards Olsen.
Yeah.
But I like that you pointed that out right out of the gate, and he did fill that second outside zone. I think if Aasbo wrapped around that first initial inside clip, then he would have gone to Aasbo because he did the necessary things, but that gap was really definitive in my eyes.
Yeah, battle's so nice. Let's see it twice.
There we go. Maybe thrice. We'll see. When we come back, Norway wins. Is it Olsen? Is it Aasbo? The family cheering him on. Talk about Olsen right there. Here we go. Don't go anywhere. We'll come back to finals one more time.
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
On race day, when we want to show everyone out there who's the best.
Here we go, Frederick Aasbo.
We really need to be focused. I tell myself, I got this. I'm the best there is.
The star is Frederick Aasbo.
Looking for what comes next, for that moment when everything finally...
1 minute!
Whichever path you choose, it starts here.
Welcome back. The new format here in 2024. We have minimized our one more times, but guess what? I mean, how many? We saw 2, maybe 3 this, maybe 3. I'm trying to recount, but
not many.
But here we are in the finals, and I think it's justifiable.
Yeah.
Love what Robbie said. Oh, look at this. We're under the car of Olsen. Oh, buddy. That's not a good thing. Olsen's up in the air, and it's not that back end just for rubber. We got somebody under the car.
Do we have an official 5-minute? I don't see a clock out.
Yeah, I do not see a clock. I see Kevin Wells there. Is this a comp timeout, or is this just kind of a standard?
Okay.
Ooh, he's thrashing.
I was looking at tools. I'm trying to figure out what he's doing there. So could have just been something to tighten up the front end. I mean, it's hard to say.
Thank you guys again for sticking around. Those in the building or online. Lorette, what's going on? The wrong end of the car is up in the air.
Yeah, I know, Jared. So as you can see, there's work going on Simon Olsen's car. The team is reattaching a wire. I was trying to basically ear hustle and listen to what was going on and what they were talking about. But there's a wire that's come loose, and so Bakchis is in the front, and there's a team member under the car. You can see all hands are on deck. Simon is in the car, and again, I think I heard it was an alternator wire.
That's critical, and talking to Chris and the team up here, turnaround traditionally 7 minutes. So, you know, they're about at 5-6 minutes, about a minute left on a turnaround. And Olsen does not have a competition timeout.
Okay.
Because he used his. So this is hypercritical. This would be such Oh, such a crazy way to lose.
It is possible. I mean, depending on the battery system they have in there, it is possible to get 2 runs done without any delay. It would be tight. It'd be very tight. I don't know if they've got a jumper box already on it. There are ways to get this to work purely on battery power alone, but it is going to be very difficult for that to happen.
Hey, real quick, if you're here in the building and you lost your wallet, gentlemen, Fernbrook Drive, we have your wallet. If you live on Fernbrook Drive, head on up here, sir. We have a wallet, and I'll just say the name, right? Travis Brigman.
Yeah.
Yeah, Travis, we got your wallet up here, buddy. So if you know Travis Brigman, come on up here. We got your wallet. See my man up here in the tower with the red shirt. He's got your wallet. So Travis Brigman. So time is ticking down here. Kevin. You see Kevin there, our official, looks like?
Yeah, wheels
okay,
on
boom.
that guy.
There you go.
All right, cool.
Wheels are on. I'd love to see him run. You know, just give him that beat. That's the right thing to do. And again, turn around 7 minutes. There we are. Power's on. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Good sign. I want to see him run, dude.
Yeah, of course.
Shoot, give him 10 minutes. I don't care.
Man, I don't
sorry.
know.
I know I'm not the official, but want to see him run.
We get paid
this is the
by
finals.
The hour, so, yeah. So we get paid by the hour. So
Yeah. No, run it up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hey.
All right.
No problem.
Norway representing. We are sending it in the bob, the burnout box at ATL. Again, Papadakis saying, you know, you got to run this at 11. Here we are at 12. Local time, 10:30. What a day, what a night, what a weekend. From, you know, arriving Wednesday night, the Type S night lights party across the streets. Thursday, you know, all the seating brackets of Pro and Pro Spec. Going into last night, TLO, Tommy Lemaire gets the victory. And then here we are, James Dean, Frederick Aasbo, Simon Olsen on the box. In what order? Wow.
Yeah, this is nuts. I mean, the one more time on top of it just adds to the drama. It just makes this more incredible. You know, it's going to push Simon Olsen to drive harder. It's going to push Frederick Aasbo to drive more accurately, which is so funny that that's what's going on right now. Because, I mean, you know, a year ago, you would have said the complete opposite of that. It would have been, you know, yeah, Aasbo, yeah. So it's great to see the Norwegian fans out here as well. All the fans. I mean, it's packed. It's still packed. People are still here. This is amazing.
This is great, man, and this is any indication of what's going to happen. You're going to want to follow the whole season. Again, Orlando, E-Town. It will be Simon Olsen will lead. Frederick Aasbo will give chase due to their qualifying. So Simon Olsen leading once again in this one more time battle. So Aasbo chasing him down. Simon Olsen, fuel suspension, Ineos oil. Let's see what he's got. Lights are on. Let's send it! Olsen out front. Aasbo chasing him down. Olsen with a little slow trickle there. Let's see this angle here. Whoa, buddy! Looks lack of angle, kind of rolling into it there, Jacob. Now coming up the hill in that first outside zone. Here comes Frederick Aasbo. Some wavering, going to the first outside zone, getting to the second there. Simon's like, all right, I'm going to put it in there. So does, oh no! Olsen shuts it down! Olsen goes left! Olsen shuts it down! That'll be for sure to complete a massive advantage for the three-time champ. That stinking wire, man, I tell you what. What a turn of events. No competition timeout.
No.
And there we are, Papadakis team, Castro, James Dean looking on, Sean Hillier. Wow.
Not.
Shout out to Parker Jet Dienda. I know he's watching. Friends around the globe, Norway watching. Aasbo top of the hill, what a bummer.
Yeah.
I know you've worked with Olsen and his team in years,
man.
and you've now since removed yourself, so you've seen the growth of Olsen. You see the eyes, you see the look. Oh, what a bummer. The head shake, the body language speaks volumes. You could read his mind.
Yeah, if he, you know, obviously if he can start the car, whatever it is, we can get it moving again. There is a chance of another battle, but if that's it, that's it. So, It's tough. So close. So close. This would have been Simon Olsen's potential maiden win. But at the end of the day, your car's got to get across the line. You've got to finish first. First you have to finish. And as we see the tow truck come out without a 5-minute timeout,
It's gonna be it.
That's gonna be it.
I mean, do you just default and tow the car up to the keyhole? I mean, that's.
Yeah.
What a bummer. There it is. Frederick Aasbo. He makes his way back up to the start line, and what a crazy turn of events. Attrition.
Yeah.
And this is it, running at 11, getting the cars going, and think about this. Here, here's just that gremlin. That gremlin, we saw the gremlin come out of the block of Bakchis and shoots out. Let's look at it again here.
Yes.
Shuts it down, exiting that keyhole.
Simon Olsen looked like he was on a heater there. Very smooth in that transition. It almost throws Frederick Aasbo off as they come up through that first outside zone. Simon getting in nice and deep, just flirting with the rumble strips. We start to see a bit of hesitation there through that first outside zone, and then right there, that's it. I don't know if it was a power cut or what it was, but either way, that car shut down. Frederick Aasbo finishes the track to victory. And that, as we said, is probably going to be it for Simon Olsen. Really rough way to go. It looked like a great run, and we already saw a big mistake there from Frederick Aasbo in the chase. So it was a huge opportunity that, it went up in smoke. That's it. At the end of the day, that maiden win for Simon Olsen goes up in smoke, and he's got to try again in a couple of weeks. The Bakchis camp's got some work to do on 2 cars, it seems.
Yeah, it's just, hey. Aasbo stoked. You don't want to win this way, but here he is. Undefeated 5-0, and now goes to unofficially 6-0. He doesn't have a timeout. Oh, jeez. Oh boy. Looks like it slipped.
What a shot.
Yeah, it's just the air got sucked out of the room. You'd love to see just a good battle. It seemed that Aasbo was up until that point. He was giving. Olsen had a good lead run.
Yeah.
Aasbo was right there.
Yeah.
Then he shuts down.
There was an opportunity there for sure in that run. I mean, it's really easy to say what could have, should have.
I thought it started.
No, getting the toe off. So, I believe Frederick Aasbo will have to do his closing lap here, but without a competition timeout, there's not much Simon Olsen can do. So.
There's the Olsen family. They're so proud of him.
Yeah.
Simon should definitely hold his head high. I mean, back-to-back, again, unofficially second place.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a comp timeout. This will be a bye run. Don't know how Simon's going to get down to the keyhole, but
we'll get him there.
We'll get him there.
Yeah.
We'll get him there. And again, let's. So yeah, they're gonna carpool down there. I'm sure James Dean will maybe give him a ride. I don't know if he wants to ride with Aasbo down there, even though they're country compatriots. I got to think he's like, nah. I'm not gonna ride. I'm sorry, bro. I'm not calling you as an Uber right now.
Yeah. That's tough.
Yeah. Oh, gutted for Olsen. What an amazing run. Make some noise for Simon Olsen and Frederick Aasbo, our finals here at round 2 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. What a battle. From tip to tail, from Thursday to Saturday night. And we're gonna do it all again 6 more times in the Pro Championship, 3 more times in the Link Engine Management Pro Spec Championship. So here it is, a celebratory bye run for Frederick, the Norwegian Hammer Aasbo, 3-time champion, 5th in Long Beach. He's gonna jump up by getting this victory.
Yeah.
We'll see mathematically where Olsen and James Dean wind up. Again, the win for Dean at round 1. And there he is, burning up those Ditto tires. Celebratory bye run for Frederick, the Norwegian Hammer Aasbo. Big backy entry, opens the trunk for Flair. Woo! Rick. Going counter course, having some fun, a celebratory run for Frederick, the Norwegian Hammer Aasbo, having some fun. Oh, he's DQ'd, his trunk open. That's it.
Hood pin game
That's it. There it is. Congratulations to Frederick Aasbo. He gets the victory and some smoke-filled, super-filled donuts. Wow. Wow, what a event. 21 years we came here, and just the progression from 5 years in 09, 10 years. There it is. Look at that. Taking a bow for the fans. He's been absolutely transparent to Lorette Nickel. Lorette asking the hard questions, and what a wild ride. Gets on top of his roof. We'll bring down James Dean, and we'll bring down Simon Olsen. You know how it ends, but make some noise for him here in the keyhole. Join us at the podium right here. Jacob Gens, he's gonna go head over, get set up for the podcast, the press conference. Norway wins, and the name is Aasbo. So, James Dean joining him down here. And there is James Dean joining him down there in the keyhole. Let's get that media over there. Get them out of the car. Wow. See where Simon's at. What an event. What an unbelievable event. Join us in just a couple weeks, either in the building at Orlando Speed World or here online for our Formula Drift Championship. Look at that, 2 3-time champions. Again, James Dean gets the win in Long Beach. 3rd place here. Freddie 5th in Long Beach, the win here. But we'll do them their service. And traditionally, I announce the winner after 3rd place, but I'm gonna go 3, 2, 1 here because so give them a respect, or respect is due. We got him? All right, without further ado, your podium finish here. We'll see on the podium as they high five and handshake. Oh, look at, still smiles on his face. 3rd place at round 2, the Type S Road to the Championship presented by AutoZone. 3rd place goes to your 3-time champion, pilot of the AutoZone Mustang RTR Spec 5D with Pennzoil lubricants from Ireland, James the Machine Dean. 2nd place, a hard-fought battle coming to us from Norway, pilot the Field Suspension Ineos Oil S15, hugs all around, GT Radial, Simon Olsen. Hugs from his competitive teams. And finally, your winner here in Atlanta, round 2 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. They're speaking Norwegian down there. Everybody, yell "Skål" for your winner. Round 2 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship, pilot of the Rockstar Energy Drink, Toyota GR Supra on Nitto tires, Fredrik, the Norwegian Hammer Aasbo. Norway, Ireland. That's how it went down here in ATL. Again, our favorite track, a driver's track, as Matt Field said. And now I throw it down to Lorette Nickel, who's again always asking the hard and the right questions. Lorette, congratulations, down to you.
Congratulations to Fredrik Aasbo. Your last win came here in 22. Your last win was at Irwindale that same year.
Right.
Freddie, this was a slow boil, and you got to that burning point just at the right time.
Yeah, I mean, I think Simon took the burning point a little, the boiling point a little further, but yeah, we got all the way today, and this is my favorite track, my favorite people, hospitality here, this sort of fast-flowing track in this green and lush landscape, and Supra ran awesome once we fixed the issues in practice, and the boys have had my back all day, and battling James was an obvious highlight. He was all in, I was all in, and we got the oil spill there. So it was amazing, and to be back on top feels amazing. I count my days, and I worry about the day I feel like I don't have it anymore, and today I feel like we had it. So I'm pretty grateful, and to be out here with all these people, see the packed house, all my friends at Team Rowdy, Øyvind, Cecilia from Norway. They're my lucky charms. Every time they show up, we win. So you guys better come more often. So thank you, everyone, for sticking around. Sorry about the wait, and see you guys next time. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to Frederick Aasbo, your winner, round 2 here in Atlanta.
Thank you so much, Lorette. And there you see Odi Bakchis rounding out the podium, or not the podium, but getting that 4th place finish. What an event. And taking a look at the standings overall, James Dean holding on to that lead by 2 points. 2 points. There are a ton of points up for grabs with 6 rounds left. James, Simon 2nd, Frederick Aasbo jumps up to 3rd past Odi. RCP sitting in 5th. Wow. And here we go, the rest of the field. Gushi, Field, Wang, Burkett, Forsberg, top 10. And again, thank you so much on behalf of Lorette Nickel, Jacob Geddens, our whole Formula Drift staff. Congratulations to TLO, and of course, congratulations to Frederick Aasbo, your winner here in Atlanta. I'm Jared Deenda, the voice of Formula Drift. Thank you so much for joining us out here. We'll see you online, or we'll see you another time. We'll see you in O-Town. That's Orlando for the 3rd stop of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. Send it, Atlanta!
Never go slow, water hard like a rhino.
On the cover, we got a big project. Your friends like Colombo, you be the judge like Rondo.